everyone to another edition of Supergirl Gamer Pro. My name is Miss Harvey, and I'm joined today with Boggs, our first time casting together.
Yeah,
Super
I can't wait.
excited. Yeah, and we're here because today is another Counter-Strike event. This is week 2. We're kicking off here tonight, week 2 of Supergirl Gamer Pro. Just like last week, this is gonna be a fun weekend where we're gonna have some Counter Strike, some League of Legends, as well as some Hearthstone. Hearthstone. Am I pronouncing it right, Austin? Am I
Yeah,
doing
Hearthstone.
okay? Hearthstone. And tonight it's gonna be 3 matches that we're gonna broadcast again. And it's your first time on set. Are you excited?
I am really excited. I actually got to broadcast the finals last year with Emode.
No
So
way.
I'm really happy to be back and seeing how the teams actually made it to the finals this time.
That's awesome. I had no idea. I wasn't there last year. I missed that one. I was there for the others. Super excited, Dan. You're familiar with the women's scene. I like it. I like it. Do you have a favorite women player? Just like that. Just putting you on the spot here.
Honestly, I don't. If I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Thea because I know her the best.
Hey, Tia, and I think she's playing tonight. So we're hopefully gonna see her tonight playing for Dignitas. But first of all, let's recap what this event is all about, especially if it's your first time tuning in. Supergirl Gamer Pro has existed for the last 3 years, but it's the first time that we are doing this event online as qualifiers to reach the main event in San Diego in October. And this is where you casted the final, right, Bugs, last year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful Oceanside.
Yeah, it was California winter. Let's hope we can make it there with the situation and the COVID. But I don't want to talk politics right now. Let's talk games. So the event is going on online, and the goal of this year is to make 9 weeks of celebration for women in games and supporting the esports community and the competitive girls. And all these weeks are small events where each of the teams and the girls are playing, and small tournaments are resetting every week. Can you let us know a little bit about each of the weeks, how the tournaments and the format works?
So the tournaments are going to be brackets of 8 teams, and these 8 teams will play through a quarterfinal, semifinal, and then a grand final. All series will be best of ones. But as we see here, we're going to actually start off with Able Esports versus Russian, and winner of that will move on to the semifinals, and if they win that, they'll be in the finals. But again, all these games are best of ones, so there is no margin for error like you would normally see in a best of 3 series, so even the grand finals can go either way. That's the magic of the best of 1 scenarios, and the way that each team acquires points is based off their placement. 5th through 8 will get 25 points. 4 and 3rd place will get 50 points, and then 2nd will get 75, and 100 goes to the winner of the week. And, well, the winner of last week was Dignitas, and as you can see there on the bracket, they have a bye that they really deserved by winning that first week.
Yeah, they had I don't want to say easy bracket, but it definitely showed they were the dominant team in this tournament. And the current standings, you mentioned the points, and since it's only 1 week, I'm gonna go through the current standings because we have some teams that are coming back this week. Russians females V2, it's the first time, it's first appearance, so they have no points on the scoreboard, and Star Shines as well are at 0, but everybody else is already in our current standings. So Dignitas at 100, Violent Roses 75, they made the final last week, and Chewbacca Silhouette at 50 points, and they're going to be playing today as well. Able Kansas City Sweet and Smoky. That's what I assume. It's KC Sweet and Smoky. And
it's a barbecue sauce.
Oh, okay. And Queen Cream. So all these 3 teams are at a 25. So today, everyone is winning points because there's only 7 teams in the tournament. So it's a matter of who gets the most. Because at the end of the 9 weeks, we are going to add up all these points, and the top 4 is going to make it to the final.
Yes, indeed. And I believe it's a 4-place final. So where it was last year was on the beach in Oceanside. It was a beautiful location. I'm hoping it's going to be there again because it was insane. You have Counter-Strike, and then you look over, and there's the ocean and the waves. It was a great celebration with surfing going on too at Supergirl Surf Pro. So it was a phenomenal celebration for women in all sorts of regards in esports and in surfing. So it's a beautiful festival, is what it really is.
It is, and to be honest, I didn't know much about surf before, and now I'm following it like crazy because it is one of the first professional sports to be paying women just as much as male. So this is a great step for sports. Really proud of what surf is doing, and we're glad to see it transgress. Yeah, to gaming with the Super Girl Gamer Pro event. So we're gonna be starting our first semifinals, quarterfinals really soon. You already mentioned the matchup is gonna be between Able and Russian females V2. So we're gonna go back to a short break. We're gonna go to a short break, and we'll be right back with the first game.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
You can trade all the games, accessories, consoles, and tech you don't use anymore to get cash or store credit at GameStop. Check out the Trade Center on the GameStop app, visit GameStop.com/trade, or talk to a guest advisor at your local GameStop store to see how much your trades are worth.
So I'm gonna hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you?
Wait, what?
The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there.
Nope. Watch this. Breathe.
Rear automatic braking. So if this Nissan Sentra isn't gonna compromise, why should you?
You're right.
Atta girl.
The all-new Nissan Sentra with more standard safety features than any other car in its class.
I never thought I'd feel this way.
No, don't hold on to me.
It's all worth it.
Ladies, Chris.
I hear that's really bad for you.
What? No, this is about finding true love.
No, I mean the screen.
Oh, no, we're all good there. These Zenny lenses, they block the blue light.
I mean, that's still really bad for you.
This is amazing. Please go away.
Chelsea.
Oh, no, don't pick her. Oh.
For a long time, we had to prove ourselves. But we always knew what we were capable of. We knew when the time came, we would be ready for anything. Our numbers keep rising. And so do we.
Welcome back after this short break. As we mentioned, this is Boggs and Miss RV, and we're going to be casting our first game of week 2 of the Supergirl Gamer Pro event in Counter-Strike. Game 2 is Able Esports versus Russian gamers. Am I right? Russian females V2. Before we jump in, I want to say thanks to all of our sponsors that were able to make this happen. So Nissan, U.S. Air Force, Zenny, the glasses as you saw in the commercial, as well as the U.S. Marines and GameStop. Without them supporting the Supergirl Gamer Pro event, it wouldn't happen. So thank you so much for caring about women gaming. Boggs, tell me a little bit about these rosters. First of all, do you know any players on these rosters?
Okay, so the main one I really know is Bouchard. I would say the headliner of Able Esports was trialing with Dignitas most recently. Things didn't work out with them, but here she is again, still competing in the Supergirl Gamer Pro events here. You got Kimmy as well on that squad, Exhilaration, Slugmart, which will be portrayed as Mr. Slug in game, and Sapphire, not the Observer that everyone knows and loves, but a different Sapphire to grace the female scene.
The Canadian Sapphire. That's how we do the difference. The Canadian one, and also she doesn't have a capital in her name. Well, the other Sapphire uses a capital. So that's how we know that in the female community. So yes, that's the roster. And on Russian female V2, who do we have?
So you got L Cookies, Miss Blue Jay, Kemoff, Rosie of Rill, and Zara. And I'm not too familiar with any of those players myself.
Yeah, I've seen Elka Q's before. I think she played in some of our Red Fuel Cups and other cups for the community that we do. But I must admit as well, I am not familiar with the other players. And this is great. This is why this event is for. This is to find new talents and push women to compete. So maybe they are extremely talented, but we've never seen them in a regular scene. And that's why I'm excited to see them. And the vetoes have been done. So we already have the map that is going to be played on. But before we revealed it, let's go and see how the vetoes happened. So we started with Able Esports was the first team to ban. I probably assume they were first seed, and they wanted to be in that position, and they banned us to first. It was followed with Overpass by Russian Female V2, then Nuke from Able, Train. So this is the back and forth. Russian banned Train, Mirage banned Able, Vertigo is banned by Russian Female V2, and we are now on Inferno. What's your thoughts on Inferno for this matchup?
I feel like Inferno was always the perfect map for the decider of a best of 3 series. It seems like it comes through so many times as that final map in Tier 1, Tier 2 CS because it's a map that everybody knows how to play, but it's very difficult to actually master this map. There's so many different things you can do with utility and coordinated pushes that I think that it's really hard to actually be a really, really good Inferno team. But if you can play really good Inferno, it's amazing to watch.
Yeah, I always say that Inferno is a map you cannot afford to ban, so you always need to be good on it. No matter who you are, I think that I don't really know. Like, Bugs, think about it. Is there any pro teams that bans Inferno?
I actually don't think there's any pro team that has Inferno as their normal ban. It's usually something like a Dust 2 or a Train that come to mind, maybe a Vertigo, but even Vertigo's been folded into the pool since there are some of those teams that don't necessarily practice it that much, and it can be a free win in a best of 3.
Yeah, Inferno is the map that I hated as a player just because everyone's good on it, and at the same time no one's good on it. It's such a map that everybody has to play. Everybody kind of has a default, kind of has pushes, kind of have gimmicky plays, one ways and whatnot, and it becomes really difficult because no one is incredibly good on it, but countering it is also pretty hard. So I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with this matchup, especially since we know for a fact that Able Esports practices a lot together now. They're a regular team. They're most likely going to be playing ESCA together next season. I think they might have played ESCA this season, but without Bouchard. So what is your prediction for this game?
Well, I think that it will be on the closer side of things. If Able has practiced this map, I'm expecting them to have some really good CT defaults as well as some good executes on the T side. But what I'm going to be looking out for is how these two teams manage their utility, how they can manage that banana control most importantly. Because I'm sure you know you love getting the Molotov nade stacked down banana, maybe a couple flashbangs thrown on in, plus a peek or two from top banana. It's always a fun thing to run into. And if you can keep control of banana, it's a really good spot for either side.
So you're thinking that you're rooting for Able?
I think Able will take it, yes, because they had the practice.
Okay, I am saying the same, but there's one thing I'm really looking forward to. If Russian Female V2 is not an actual team and they're more like a puggy team, they might resort to, I call them group plays, like 5 together hitting a bomb site, and that can be very difficult for a newer team to handle. And on Inferno, let's just say, if they don't put a lot of pressure at banana and they have to face 5 players taking control of B, I cannot wait to see how Able is going to react to that. So I believe the early rounds for Able on CT side are going to be extremely crucial to lock that B down to be able to win this match.
So that utility, using the Molotovs wisely, getting the early rotations back as well, going to be the key to the game for Able.
Absolutely. And although Bouchard is the player that we know and that shines, I think that last week we saw that everybody is able to do a lot of damage on Abel. So I'm also interested to see how Kimmy is going to perform. Usually Smiley plays for that team as well, and she's not here today. So it's going to be also interesting to see how a veteran like Smiley, with not being on the team, is going to show up. And I think that all the players are ready in the game, but we're just having one trouble with one of the player readying up. So don't stay with us. We're gonna go live within any, I want to say seconds, but maybe a couple of minutes. Everybody else is ready. We're ready. The players are all ready. Just a little bit of a tech issue, and we'll be live. But if they do, whoever wins this game, let me just go check the brackets, is going to play the winner of Violent Roses and Chuba Cat. So that's also a very, very cool matchup. And as I'm talking to myself, pretty much, we can see that we are currently live in the game, and we are going to go into this knife round. Whoever wins is probably going to start. What do you think?
I think you normally see teams that win the knife round want to start on that CT side, get off out of the gate early with a good solid start. Never want to go into the second half down, and usually will start off with at least a 9-6 lead on the CT side of Inferno, at least as far as the statistics go. And it will be Abel winning that round and staying on the CT side. And
we are now going live with our first game of this Supergirl Gamer Pro weekend. This is Miss Sarvi and Boggs for Able Esports versus Russian Female.
We got a kit on Kimmy. Molotov or Bouchard, though. So that's a very interesting choice on a pistol round. But Zara doesn't have any utility left, just the P250, so no utility for the T side. Exhilaration already with this bottom mid control, taking down one, going for a second as well. Nothing found just yet, but still all of this control, keeping Russian Female V2 hemmed in down towards the T ramp. This is a huge opening kill, not to mention the map control, but Zara will get traded out. Slugmart is there for the trade, however, and that might just stabilize things for Able Esports here. Sapphire will have to fall away back in towards apartments, but still, 2 players versus 3 on this eventual execute onto the A site. Things could get messy here for Able.
Yeah, things could get messy, but at the same time, that slowdown from Russian Female here. And as I say that, they're rushing into the Sapphire. Let's see the Slugmart and the Sapphire teamwork. But unfortunately for Sapphire, she got knocked down and is not getting traded. Slugmart and her right away going down. It's all going to be in the hands of Kimmy and Bouchard.
It's a great double entry from Kimov, getting that bomb down to absolutely critical on the T side. I mean, I think T side with 4 kills in the bomb plant means a full buy with Galils and AKs on the next round, even if they lose that pistol round. So Able will be starting on the back foot regardless of the way this round ends. But if they can get the first round on the board, it would be huge. But Bouchard gets shut down by Kimov on for the 3K, looking for the final kill. Kimmy will get hunted down, has the kit, no armor. He's still going to have to try for this. The aim punches there, and Kimov will finish it off. Quad kill to start things off as Russian Female V2. They might not have started with the first pick. They might have gone down 3-4, but they still were able to swarm that A site and win the round.
Yeah, maybe we have a pause here. That's where we're jumping back to us, but it was a really difficult round for Able because they had the upper end, they had the map positioning, they had everything in their hands. But unfortunately, when it came down to that A site, I want to say focus for the Russians. I'm just going to call them the Russians, guys. For the Russians, their positioning was kind of off. Double up inside, no trade possible. It seemed a little bit difficult. And the same thing kind of happened with the Kimmy and Bouchard retake. Both times, I do feel that the timing and the trades are kind of off for Able.
Yeah, I'm surprised Able didn't have anybody in pit. You normally think that pit crossfire was cited as something that's really impenetrable, but it was never there, not even graveyard. It was just both on site, one watching motocross and the other one watching the balcony and lane entry point. But as you said, there was no trade potential. Even on the retake, it was a 1v1 duel for Bouchard and then 1v1 duel in the end. So the thing is, if you are able to isolate the 1v1 duels, it usually will go to the defending team. But if you're getting faced by 2-3 players, it's hard to find that multi-kill, especially on a pistol round.
Absolutely. We're just confirmed that it was a tech pause, potentially only 90 seconds. So we will be back soon in the game. But I want to say props to the Russians. Russian females. Yes, Russian females. I'm never gonna remember this. Russian females V2. That's extremely important. That's part of their title. Because they didn't lose their composure when they're down, and they stayed as a pack. And this is exactly what I talked to you about, Bugs, before. When the Russians in doubt will pack up and hit the site together, it's always going to come down to Abel making sure that they get those trades, because potentially they have better teamwork, so they should have been in better positions. They had plenty of time to reposition themselves after their picks in mid.
Yeah, indeed, and that was really good recovery by the Russian squad because they were down by 2 players. They had 3 versus 4. They just grouped up, hit the site, play the numbers advantage, but they were also there for the trades on their executes too, which was the best part. Even if Kimov doesn't get that initial kill, there still was the second player or third player there for the trades. So the way that they played it, it was very well composed. It was a solid T-side execute, whether it's pistols or rifles, and it bodes well for them in this best of 1.
Yeah, and as we are still in the tech pause, I also want to mention, we're actually going to go back into the game, but I also want to mention that it might have been the nerves too, you know, for Abel to be able to, no puns intended, but stay calm and clear. And we are already in the middle of round 2 here. And as you can see, the Russian females V2 was able to get the plant. Only 1 casualty from Kimov's. And Kimmy and Slugmart with the full buy here are going to try to get some exit kills, potentially save their guns, which is what I'm hoping for them.
Yeah, they can do some damage with those saved pistols plus the Kevlar in the next round, but it is always interesting to see whether a team will go for the force buy or will save after that first round pistol loss. Kimmy will at the very least take down 1 more. I believe that was just a MAC 10 on Rosie, so no real economic damage dealt to the Russian female V2 squad. But here we'll see the AKs out. A P90 for Miss Blue Jay as well. Not something you see all the time, but definitely is good on a close angle map like Inferno. But still, we'll see the pistols for Abel. And they won't really have a lot of utility here. Do you want to see a gamble stack out of them, though? Something maybe aggressive to try and catch the T's off guard?
And I think you have it right on. As there's only 1 player to be in a triple man push at all for Abel's, and no one is spamming for Russian, so they got that free positioning. And Kimov is gonna get shut down by Sapphire, and the rest of the team is still progressing. Oh, this is very dangerous for Russian female.
Oh, indeed it is. They already know there was 3 players there. Sapphire's on for the 3K with the P250. Looking back for more. It's the P90 of Miss Blue Jay that will shut her down in the end. But still, Miss Blue Jay's down to 8 points of health. And there's 1 more. It's Bouchard holding back long hauls. It's down to Cookies, but Cookies gets eliminated by Kimmy. The pistol stacked towards apartments works out perfectly. And while Russian female V2 thought they could just bullseye their way up through halls and bully their way onto the A sites, the close range angles in the apartments favors those pistols, and Abel Esports steal away their first round.
Oh no, you really hate to see it. This was a really unfortunate kind of trade-off here for Russian females. They had the worst, I want to say, positioning to be able to trade. Their timing was kind of bad, and I'm not gonna lie here, we saw this coming from our point of view, knowing everything that was going on. It really hurts to see them lose this round, and they're gonna invest a lot of money into this next round, where most of the players fully committed to this buy here with a lot of AKs and armor invested for Russian female V2.
Yeah, they have 2 AKs, Deagles, and armor. The P250 Exiliation Wit in the pit will actually muff the Molotov a little bit, but that still could protect the cross. We'll still find the headshot onto Kimov. A good angle from Sapphire back on default stack. We'll do a little more damage, actually a lot of damage to Zara. It's down to 12 points of health, but still Russian female V2 seem content to just keep on with this A push. They've not tried Banana at all, and that's actually signaling to Abel that they can get a little more aggressive towards half wall. Exiliation will get 1 more. Bouchard will strike. A gun barrel shows from Boiler, but now it's Miss Blue Jay to answer back. An AK could be salvaged for Rosie, but the flank comes in from Slugmart. Only good for 1, but Kimmy's right there for the trade. And Abel Esports equal things up at 2 apiece, and they put themselves in a great spot to grab a lead.
Yeah, there was a bit of hesitation here on Russian female V2, as you saw in this round. When it got spotted, everybody was ready at balcony, and everybody was ready at boiler, and no one came out. It seems like a little bit of miscommunication and or a little bit of nerves kicking in, and not being able to capitalize on that situation really cost them. It could have been huge for them.
That's a huge opening kill, though, for Cookies. Takes down Kimmy, full ready with the P250. Carried on to the early Banana Molly as well. Slugmart from U-Box will shut one down. There's still more of a push. Slugmart with one more. Exiliation and Bouchard chiming in. Kimov will actually get 2 on the Beagle. But 2 will not be enough to win the round. Still a costly round for Able, all things considered, losing 3 players. But because they had that eco round victory to actually boost their economy, it's still not looking too rough.
Ooh, that double deagle. It really happened so fast on our screen. We're not even sure if this is because they lined up or if the shots were sick, but it's gonna put us into this game we have 2 ops already for Able. 1 ops at B, 1 ops at A. I'm usually not a fan of that early double opping, but let's see if it works out for Able.
Yeah, I saw some very rough double op rounds early on in advance last night, and it just really hurt the CT team in a retake. But well, iCookies rather, will get the opening pick on Banana. I think that was a spam smoke, or a smoke spam, and a really good opening kill to really start to thin the defenses of the CT side. However, Bashar's all the way in logs still has a lot of information that Banana's still clear. And while the T's might be having a lot of map control elsewhere on A, this double setup on Banana with Bouchard and Logs and Kimmy holding long with the op towards Long Banana. It's a huge opportunity, but iCookies 1 more kill. Kimmy will find 1 and fade away, but still, that's an advantage to Russian female V2. As they still have a lot of time on the clock, they still have the mid-round calls to make. There's an early rotation from Exhalation all the way towards the B side. It's going to be a gamble stack.
Yeah, and I think everybody is having the right play here on Able. McKimmy coming in huge with the first pick. And again, Russian female not really capitalizing on their group effort. They might get run down 1 by 1 here as we have Able crushing them. It's only going to be Indians of Sapphire, but she gets killed by Kim-Offs, and they know A is clear. Oh no, disastrous round for Able. That was probably one of their only chance of success here. Double up retake. Is that even gonna happen? 5 seconds left, but bomb's gonna get planted.
It's double up on the A side of Inferno too.
Yes.
It's being known as the most difficult side to retake, on par with B side does too. And this is a really risky call here. There's so much money invested in this round in the double ops alone. Able could get a solid buy in the next round if they save these ops, but they're going to go for it here. And well, actually, the Deagle comes out. It does not strike for 1. Kimmy swaps to the sidearm, but gets shot from behind. And the Russian female V2 strike back on the gun round. A very good response. A great rotation back. Getting that initial kill onto Sapphire down bottom Banana really opened up that A site, and then those 2 ops really hampered Able in the retake. And their lack of utility as well came in. There were no flashbangs left for them to actually use to retake that site. No Molotovs, no nades, no smokes. It was as dry as it gets, and didn't pan out well for them.
Yeah, after that killed on Sapphire, it was a save situation for me for sure. Able was not able to rotate fast enough on A to get someone there to gather some intel. So when that bomb was planted, it was kind of a bad decision, I would say, for Able to have committed to that retake. You mentioned it in the round. It was gonna be a decent buy if they were able to save these 2 gun rounds. And for this specific round, for round 7, the gamble at A is not paying off so far, as Russian went to B.
This should be a mop-up for Russian female V2. They should be able to get these kills here. I don't think they should necessarily hunt for any of these players, but they should just turtle up on site. Sapphire, however, opens things up well. There's a double stack in towards V-Box. Kimmy strikes for 1 as well. Slugmart will chime in too. It's a 3v2 in favor of Able, but now here comes Rose with the P90. Will only be good for 1, and now Bouchard, no armor, has the Deagle in hand, dancing around the new box, but it's Kimov, who stands tall yet again. Another 4K in this game, up to 13 kills. We've only played 7 rounds, and Kimov's almost equaling 2 kills per round so far.
Kimov is popping off, and he's definitely carry. Well, I don't like to say carrying that early into the game, but if we combine all the kills from his teammates, he still is on top of it. So he's definitely doing something right. And I have a question for chat. If you are friends with Russian female V2, please let me know if it's L cookies or I cookies, because I need to know now. It's really, really buggly me.
That's really good aggression down banana. Also, that smoke is...
Wow, that is a weird smoke.
That's a weird smoke bug.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Neither have I. I guess, can we get source 2 now?
But good push here from Abel. But I was about to say they might be overstaying their time here, as I thought Kimov was going to get potentially a double. But turns out that he did not get the best out of this fight for once. And he's going to go down. And Abel's still on the hunt here, pushing. But there it is. That fallback is what I was looking for a little bit earlier.
Yeah. They really needed to fall back a little earlier. I think they got lucky with that extra kill they got.
Yeah.
It was a really good aggression down banana too in the early portions with their utility usage, getting that control plus the opening pick. But after that, they really don't need to stick around all that long. They could have gotten caught out pretty easily there, but all's well that ends well, I guess. And, well, they have the forward rotation over towards the A site now, which is where Russian female V2 seem to be going out for the execute. One through lane, the other on balcony, and all these angles are being watched by these able players. One in pit, one on site. That's the crossfire you want to see. There's one up towards Moto as well. And even if there was some time to get that plant down, it was not happening. Able Esports get the kills. They shut down Russian female V2 with a flawless victory in that round, which will significantly boost the CT economy.
Yeah, and the score is going to be 4-4 into this game. I like to think it's a brand new game where that score is as early as that, but Russian female has so little money. It's going to take them a little bit of momentum to come back into this game.
It will indeed, but early banana control, it's come at quite a cost though. They've taken about half HP on 3 players. Good utility damage early on for the CT side. The bomb for Russian female V2 is still in spawn, and I think it might be an AFK player, maybe a tech issue, but either way, it's going to be Bouchard to peek. 2 kills, Slugmar chimes in for 1 more, and the second 2. The B site was not open for business as Able have themselves a triple stack early on. They will win it there. The bomb's still in spawn, however. And I would not be surprised to see a tech timeout come through from Russian female V2 after this, so they can figure out whatever's going on Rosie's end. So they can have a full 5-player roster moving forward.
Yeah.
And definitely with the disconnect now, it will be going to a technical timeout. It's kind of hard to win a game down 5v4, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like it's even Able that is standing out to support the Russian female. And as we go into this tech, let's summarize a little bit what happened so far. It's 5-4 for Able, and the momentum is definitely on their side. It looks like for me, the Russians are having a little bit of trouble getting to their mid rounds and their game plans. Not a lot of utilities being used for them. Every time they get to a site, there's very little manpower as well as utilities left to be able to execute properly, whether it's at A or at B.
Yeah, I think one of the most critical parts of a map like Inferno is those mid rounds. I mean, in any map really, but it looked really good for Russian female V2 in the pistol round. Their mid-round calls were brilliant. And then now we've seen the guns come out, the pressure start to mount a little bit, and they start to be getting a little shaky, it seems. And maybe that is the pressure, maybe it is the nerves coming through, or maybe it's just that Able have that better cohesion as a team and they're adapting well themselves and putting a lot of pressure on the T side. That's one thing I've noticed too. They're going for these aggressive banana plays. They're going for that control early. But
it looks like we're going to go back into the game with only 4 players on the Russian females. That's very unfortunate. I wonder if there's even a tech pause available on the server, to be honest.
Yeah, my heart goes out to them right now because it's never fun to play down.
Never fun, and then you don't want your ice feed to let you down in COVID times because that's the only thing you got. And we're going to go into almost a full save round here for Russian females. We have a deagle in hands onto Kimov, a smoke and a flash. So let's see how they're going to utilize that utility as Kimov is pushing towards all by himself. It doesn't look like he's gonna use it, or she's gonna use it. They're gonna use it. As Miss Blue Jay is gonna go down, the last remaining player of Russian female V2. But we're back to 5.
Let's
Rossi
go.
is back.
Welcome back, Rossi. We missed you.
We missed you. That's the kind of game we want to see. We want to see a 5v5. It's never fun. And as we head into round 11, it's going to be a score of 6-4 for Able Esports.
It is indeed, but it's going to be the guns up again for the T side. They have the AKs, but one thing they don't have a lot of is utility. They don't have a lot of the Molotovs that you normally see for executes. Only 2 smokes left with 1:32 on the clock. 2 flashbangs as well. We've gone 25 seconds into this round, and they have 4 pieces of utility left as opposed to pretty much full belts of the entire CT side. Well, that's huge for L Cookies, though. 2-for-1 trade will always favor the T side, and there's only one defender left here. I believe it is Bouchard. Rossi moving up as well, but Bouchard's on the site, isolated position, no trade potential for her. Backed up onto the cold Zera box, so that's the bomb dropped, and this can now become a very strong position, especially with L Cookies being low. The kill onto L Cookies comes through, but Slugmart's been caught in rotation, leaving Kimmy in the 1v2 now. Plant can come through. It will be planted back site, so there's a chance, but Kimmy needs to come up huge.
Kimmy in that 1v2 has the right Molotov, so this could really help her flush out some position in the side, but she's still gonna have to come in big here to win this round. Bring around the Rosie. Oh, Kimov got blinded by Rossi. Oh no! Kimmy playing around with her weapons, and unfortunately for her, not able to recover in time to be able to kill Rossi. After that first kill, I thought it was it. I thought she was gonna win that round.
Yeah, I really did too, and well, for Russian female V2, I think that Rossi's going to be a little happy, even though that Team Flash didn't really come through to be the deciding factor of that round. Early damage, though, to Zara. I believe that was a nade, but it could have been a team knife. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage being taken from a nade. And one thing that I noticed on both teams, we're not really good at trades right here. We're pretty struggling with, we're struggling pretty badly with our spacing in between our teammates, and the trades are kind of off. Once again here, you see Rossi is kind of ahead of everyone else, but at least this time she's waiting for her teammates, and the push was actually completely blocked by that smoke and hulls here from the CTs.
That's a really well-timed Molotov, too, from Sapphire. Forces the boiler player all the way out, and that's actually going to force the T side out of apartments for the most part. Bouchard gets a little antsy, goes for a pick towards long haul, takes down Zara, too. Finally finishing off that early damage dealt, and that's a good opening pick again from Abel. And if they can continue to play well off these opening duels, they can pretty much put a lockhold on these rounds. Kimmy having to hold down the B side is solo with the op, but still not falling all the way back, drops a smoke. And there's no utility for Russian female V2 to flash through this. They have no utility for any takes. They have a nade. And that's it. And that's something that I'm noticing too on the T side, is that they don't have any utility for these late round executes.
And look at their money. I don't know if it's because they didn't buy it or it's because they wasted it so early. Oh, Kimmy got the kill on Kimov. Oh, wow. Yeah. I thought she went down without getting that second kill, but huge round here for April. And just to your question earlier, Kimov knifed Zara, so that's how she lost that much damage. But we have a Rossi gone from the server again. Boggs, what are we gonna do about it?
That's unlucky. At least it's on an eco round. That's the only consolation I can find there. A couple deagles and a Glock, but I don't know if there's a technical timeout or something they can use to allow Rossi to get back into the server. They're just going to rush up Banana towards Kimmy, though. Bouchard is there to back her up, and I don't think it's going to go all too well for Russian female V2 here. As, at the very least, they have another round. Okay, Rossi's back. So, Glocks are out. Maybe a kill or two goes their way, but at least they have Rossi back for another gun round.
Could have been dangerous here for Kimmy to take that much space in Banana by herself, kind of. on a safe ground, but thankfully she didn't miss her shot, and Bouchard was close enough to support her. As there's a triple man retake, and they find the bomb in that banana side. Kimov in a 1v5, Deagle in hand. Can they win the round?
Deagle 1v5s don't happen very often, but you know, there's always a chance. There's a lot of time on the clock and potential for a saved rifle. Slugmart and Bouchard are low on health as well. One Deagle body shot would do them in, but it seems that Kimov's more concerned to just staying alive and maybe grabbing a consolation frag or two, but the bomb is definitely out of reach with 3 players all holding it down, including the op of Kimmy. Exhalation's just going to chill and pit too. Oh, that's a good opening kill though.
And that's Kimov. One. And oh, I was so ready to say that, Stu.
Almost a KO.
Almost a 1v5 is what I'm going to say. With only 1 kill in. Rossi is back, but unfortunately for Russian, if they continue heading that route, we could be looking at 10-5 here for Abel, who's again ready. Full utility, 2 ops in N, a triple banana take here. The L Cookies is going to face the wrath of Bouchard and Slugmart within a couple of seconds. So let's see who's going to come out on top.
A great flash to open things up. Slugmart and Bouchard both pushing down. Coordinated effort, not just getting the kill onto L Cookies, but doing more damage onto Kimov and Miss Blue Jay as well. Great execution of a banana take from a CT side. And now the clear's coming through. Kimov unable to get anything done as Bouchard will finish her off in towards logs. Well, the bomb's actually going down the A site, though. I'm not... How?
I don't know how that happened. And Zara getting 2 with the SG in alls. And Slugmart trying to flank them. Only 11 HP and 16 left on Russian females V2, but they're going to get the bomb down. And they almost have a crossfire. If only Zara can make it to pit without getting caught. But I'm not sure they're going to be able. And that 2v2 retake is looking good for Abel with a lot more to work with.
Good wall-time flashbang for Slugmart to peek out early, but Zara's holding down towards Moto. Bouchard peeks and Slugmart will take down Zara. Rossi fell early on backside, and while the bomb plant does come through from Russian female V2, we're getting to the dying embers of this half, and it's a 9-5 scoreline. The best possible case now for the T side is a 10 or a 9-6 half, and even then, I don't know if 9-6 is going to be enough. I think a lot of it's going to depend on that pistol round, because Abel have been pretty much able to do whatever they wanted on this banana control, and if they can translate that to their T side, Russian female V2 are going to have a very hard time.
Yeah, and it looks like Rossi timed out again because they're not buying in spawn. So that's really unfortunate for Russian female. But honestly, for Russian female V2, considering the situation where they're playing most of the rounds of 4v5, and they're really struggling, I want to say, with the utility usage. If you look right now, Zura has no more utility, although there's $2,600 left in their hands. So 5 rounds is huge. I thought, like, considering everything that's going on, it's a pretty good half for Russian female.
Well, if they can get 6, I think it would be even better.
Yeah, it would be even better. But the trades are happening towards bracket and alls. And I'm not quite sure what happened. It looked like someone cratered or killed himself in a fire. It could have happened, and Zara is going to be left alone versus 3. Only 17 HP left in ends.
17 HP for a 1v3 isn't all that much. The fact that there's 2 ops up against them, though, but that makes things doable, but Exhalation will not let things get messy. Lands the op shot out towards balcony. It will be the 10-5 half for Able Esports. So we'll have a side swap here, but hopefully Rossi can come back, and hopefully those tech issues will stabilize. Kimmy, though, had 105 ADR throughout that half, and that's definitely a good stat line to show.
Yeah, she definitely had a solid banana ult. Fortunately for them, they really didn't try to flush her out or counter her, so she had all the, I want to say, freedom in the world to just crouch behind that half wall and just kill them one by one.
Indeed. It doesn't seem like there is a technical pause, though, for these players to use, unfortunately. So it looks like Rossi will have to rejoin on the fly, which will make things a little more difficult. But hopefully Rossi will be able to stabilize either the ISP, or it could be a Counter-Strike thing, too. You never know.
We have the official timeout rules here from the Supergirl Pro. As you may or may not know, in Counter-Strike, every tournament is different. So we just got sent the official rules. If a player disconnects in the first 4 rounds, the match will be replayed. And I don't think this is what happened. I think they started timing out after that. So unfortunately for Russian female V2, we are going to have to stick to that final score. But it looks like if you disconnect after round 8, you have 2 rounds to reconnect, and if you don't reconnect in time, you can elect to play in a 4v5. But so far, every round, Rossi was able to reconnect in time. I must admit, I've never seen that rule before, the any disconnect after round 8 rule. It's very interesting and weird rule. I've never seen that before. Usually you can reconnect.
I'm right there with you.
When you can reconnect, like there's no like two rounds limit. But that's what it says in the rule. So hopefully for Rossi, they will be able to reconnect fast. And there it is. Rossi is back in the game.
There we go. So we won't be seeing another 4v5 round, and hopefully we don't see another 4v5 round for the rest of this game, or for the rest of the evening, or I would say for the rest of this tournament.
Absolutely, would agree with you.
But we will see some utility coming out from Abel. Got a smoke and double flashbang on Sapphire. I want to see where they want to use this utility. Looks to be an early banana take from the... Oh, is Sapphire going to use this utility as a fake towards A? Yeah, that smoke's going out towards top mid. But it's a triple... Actually, no, it's a deep banana smoke. It's that banana smoke from T-Ramp. Looks like it's going to be a full-on B execute, though. Kimmy with one, Exhalation with another. Headshots galore for the side of Abel as they can get the bomb plant down behind Fountain or whatever they want. Kimmy comes in. Another double dink onto L Cookies this time. Sapphire locking down the half wall. And now it's all down to Zara, who's stranded alone, coming in through Speedway. And I don't think there's much Zara can do despite the fact that there's a kit and a smoke on the player.
Yeah, it seemed like a very easy round for Abel. Russian females kind of split it apart with that smoke landed in spawn. And although Zara is able to get a kill on Slugmart with 10 HP in end and a flank coming towards CT spawn, we're going to see the scoreboard or the score at 11-5 for Abel Esports.
That pistol round is a pretty huge win for Abel to be able to just steamroll and snowball a huge lead. They already have now a 6-round lead. There's not going to be a significant buy for Russian female V2 in this round. They're relegated to a 5-7, a nade, a Molotov on Rossi, armor and stock pistols on Miss Blue Jay and Zara, a kit on Zara as well. So a bit of a half buy on 2, a full investment on another. That's going to be an easy kill for Kimmy, though, eliminating the no-armored player with the MAC-10. The box of bullets will just shred through anybody without the vest or helmet. And there's 2 for Kimmy, who will now swap to the sidearm, but the bomb is a long rotation, still up banana to make its way onto the site. And Kimov has the Zeus, and it might just work. Indeed it does. The taser
we got our
comes in.
Zeus kills for the night. Extremely happy with that taser kill. We can now rest and go home.
Yup. I love Zeus kills.
What do we need tonight? We need a knife kill, a Zeus kill, that's it. A Crider. We got a self-mutilation kill, I think, earlier. Yeah. We need to get all of those. I want to say seal kills for each broadcast, because that's what we live for.
I'll go for like some sort of jumping no scope too.
Okay, let's do that. Jumping no scope.
Or an XM.
Or what? Sorry?
There's an XM, the auto shotty.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Rossi,
get those kills.
Oh no.
Oh no. But Rossi, I think, was blind most of that round because they had no idea they were in the Molotov. And that full buy here from Russian female V2 is not looking great, as Bouchard is kind of just farming at banana with Kimmy, and their bomb is going to get planted towards B, leaving L Cookies and Zara in a 2v4.
They have no other option but to save here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, their money is absolutely... Well, it's not broken. Miss Blue Jay and Kemov can still buy. So, theoretically, they could have rifles on 4 players, but Zara gets taken down by Exhalation. Now the last remaining player is stepping out of balcony.
Ooh.
L Cookies goes for the fight, but loses it now, and that's going to put Russian Female V2 in a very rough economic situation. An op for Kemov, an M4 for Miss Blue Jay. Everybody else is going to be on pistols or SMGs.
Yeah, that op instant buy here for Kemov's, not even wasting any second. But again, those buy rounds from Russian Female have been a little bit interesting. Right now, you see L-Kikis and Zara, it's still money in hands, but the rest of the team fully bought. So these are not... There's a little bit of trouble in paradise here for Russian Female, who are not really in sync together as in their buy rounds.
Yes, indeed, but they still have brought it to a 4v3. Of course, it is in the advantage of Able Esports, but it still is doable to recover. The flashbang, though, does not blind Bouchard. Kemov will stand tall with the op and coffins. And if Kimmy does phase without a flashbang, I think Kemov has this angled. Smoke will go in to wall off Kemov, though. Have to rotate over towards CT. There's a smoke for CT as well. The flank's coming in from Rossi, but Rossi's relegated to the Deagle and Kevlar. Yes, the Deagle can be deadly. But in this scenario, I think a rifle would go a long way to making things more viable for Rossi, who's just going to charge on up. Good kill by Kimmy, though, and now Kemov. This is a really rough situation, a 1v3 with the op on the B site, and there's rifles hunting.
Kimmy here with the 3K in this round, doing huge. I also thought at some point she was pretty confident she was going to re-peak after Bouchard went down. There was so much willpower in her for not to re-peak because her body language or her little character language was like, let me peek this, come on. But she ended up not doing it and winning the round for her team.
It's now the do or die rounds 2 for Russian Female V2. They'd love to avoid that 15-5, but Bouchard, the spam through the smoke, eliminates L Cookies. And that is not the start that Russian Female needed here in their chance for a comeback. It's going to be a chunky nade, too. There's a good amount of damage to Kemov, down to 64 HP. That smoke will not keep them safe for long, as the sandbags are there as well. The peek's going to come in from Slugmart.
Ooh.
Dinks a teammate in return,
Yep.
but still, the kill is the kill. And it's going to be the B site open for business unless there's something Rossi can do to hold down from U-Box. Molotov into oranges, but now they have to know. It's back in dark. Orimo gets forced out. The plant will come through. The M4 and a P2000 is last alive on Zara.
Yeah, Zara once again, not quite sure what happened here with the buys as Miss Blue Jay and Rossi fully committed, but Zara here only has a pistol in hand and 4.4K, so definitely a little bit of work to do here for Russian Females if they come back next week to at least align themselves to buy at the same time, so that would really help. And I'm talking as if the game is over. It is not over. It is match point here for Able Esports, who's showing extreme dominance versus the Russian Female V2 into this first game of week 2 for Supergirl Gamer Pro Counter-Strike event.
That's a great start for Able to be able to secure at the bare minimum 50 points here, but of course they still have to convert this round. Rossi's in a good spot in the cubby. Nobody's going to clear the angle as well. One kill for the P90, but nothing further. Kimmy and Sapphire pretty much clearing out that ace. That is with a triple stack towards B from the CT side. Bouchard will hold down Speedway, but there's a double op B set up and a retake coming through. Everybody on through CT. Or not through CT rather, but through Banana and through mid. This is going to be a very rough retake, even if there weren't 2 ops in store and a P90 on Miss Blue Jay. And there's still 2 Molotovs in hand for Able Esports. They should be able to wall and delay as long as they need to. And even then, Exhalation's going aggressive with the P250. Shotgun off in apartments. Sapphire will find one more, and Kimmy will spray down Zara for the final frag of this map, of this match, as Able Esports take this one very convincing fashion, 16-5, and they'll move on into the semifinals.
They'll move on to win to play the winner of the other semifinal and the bracket. But congratulations to Evil. This was a dominated game. But to be fair, Russian female V2 had a lot of technical issues, and it does seem that the tech pauses, I'm not quite sure they worked really well in the server for the Russians. But like I mentioned, we hope to see you back next week, and you're not leaving empty-handed, because even if you lose this first game, you still are winning some points. If I'm not mistaken, Boggs, my maths are correct. Russian female V2 is leaving with 25 points this week as they get knocked out of this tournament.
Yeah, indeed, you're correct. And that will actually tie them with what Able Esports actually won last week.
There we go.
So while Able will, at the very least, get up to 75 points today, Russian female V2 will tie themselves with KC, Sweet and Smoky, and Queen Grim. So they're tied for 6th place right now, which is not a bad spot to be in. It's still within striking distance. There's still 7 more weeks to go after today.
And it looks like we already have the other semifinalists that Able is going to play, as Violent Roses and Chubacat were matches as concluded as well. And it was even more of a one-sided affair because the Violent Roses crew won 16-2. So Chubacat, you're also leaving us for today, but not empty-handed. Thank you so much, ladies. You're leaving with a good 25 points, and we hope to see you next week.
Yes, indeed we do. And Chubacat will still stay in that top 4 spot, at least for now. So they're still sitting pretty. That's the beauty of this sort of style of tournament. You keep on accruing points, and even if you have a bad week, you still have a chance to make it up the next time.
Absolutely. Our other semifinals will be Silhouette and Dig. Silhouette, who beat Starshine. Starshines was the first time that they were playing in this event, as well as they were not there last week. And I need to talk about one player on Starshines, because I do believe they played with Chloe Plays, who was also competing in the League of Legends tournament last week. So props to her. It looks like she's playing in both events, and this is the kind of person I love myself to see. I absolutely love your grind. So we hope to see you back next week as well. So we are going to go ahead, Boggs, to a commercial break, but we'll be right back with one of these 2 semifinals.
So I'm gonna hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you?
Wait, what?
The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there.
Nope. Watch this.
Breathe.
Rear automatic braking.
So if this Nissan Sentra isn't going to compromise, why should you? You're right.
Atta girl.
The all-new Nissan Sentra, with more standard safety features than any other car in its class.
I never thought I'd feel this way.
No, don't hold on to me.
It's all worth it.
Ladies, Chris.
I hear that's really bad for you.
What? No, this is about finding true love.
No, I mean the screen.
Oh, no, we're all good there. These Zenny lenses, they block the blue light.
I mean, that's still really bad for you.
This is amazing. Please go away.
Chelsea.
Oh, no, don't pick her. Oh.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or the aircraft. It's something more. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside each and every Marine that answers a nation's call. Battles won.
Hi, it looks like we're back right away. My friend Bugs went to grab some water, and don't worry, he'll join us within a couple of seconds. the joy of live and short commercials. But before we jump into the next game, let's swap right away to the brackets and look what we have for these two semifinals coming up. And as you can see on your screen, we currently have Able Esports versus Violent Roses and Silhouette versus Dig. We mentioned it right before going to break. These are interesting semis because I really do believe they're going to be a great time for both matches. But the match we're going to spec today is going to be the Silhouette versus Dig semifinal. This is kind of a rematch from last week. I don't know if you might have missed it or whatnot, but Silhouette lost to Dig. Silhouette last week had a full woman roster, while Dig was playing with 3 core and 2 kind of ringer. And two males actually with XP3. And let's be real, we renamed Brandina, I think. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's how we renamed it. But this week, Silhouette is coming back with two heavy supports, Bugs.
Yeah, they have.
What do we have on the roster?
Well, they have 2 Z Pug Gods members, Zelsis and Android. 2 players that are very well known in the North American scene. And, well, I know Zelsis is playing with his girlfriend, Lunar Cat, so that could be a little bit of why they're there. But it also could be said that Emily's playing with XP3, who's her husband. But I want to take a quick second to congratulate XP3 on getting signed. I believe he just got signed to Complexity for Valorant.
Yeah, he has. It's going to be interesting for him to follow his career as he's going to juggle Dignitas coaching as well as professional playing Valorant for Complexity. We also have kind of a dual couple thing going on the Silhouette, because if I'm not mistaken, without spilling too much beans on this cast, we also have Myrna, Tina, and Indrid together as well. So this is the powerhouse of Counter-Strike happening here in North America in the Supergirl Gamer Pro event, and we're excited to be here today to cast this semifinal. The vetos have been done, so let's look at what happened as we got into this game. Silhouette were the first one to dance, and they removed us too. Then there was a Mirage gone from Dig, Vertigo, gone from Silhouette, then an Overpass, and back and forth again, Nuke and Inferno, and we are remaining with a train map. Last week, it was also train. So that's
interesting.
This is a complete rematch. This is the revenge time for Silhouette, or potentially the dominance moment for Dig, proving that they are the team to beat in this competition so far, finishing first last week and standing first in the standings with 100 points in bank. And Silhouette could be the second team in this competition, but unfortunately, I think twice back to back, they might have their run stopped in semis and not able to get those second place points.
Yeah, I mean, 75 points goes a bit farther than 50. But 100 points is definitely what everybody here is actually vying for, and Dig would love nothing more than to get back-to-back first places, not only for the bragging rights reason, but also to get that lead. 200 points up on the competition would be absolutely massive to go forward.
Absolutely. And as you may or may not know, the format of this competition is that every week you have a chance to be part of this competition. The whole thing resets and you gain points. So you do not have to play every single week to qualify for the final. And so far, Dignitas, we know, will not be playing in next week's, because the tournament in week 3 is going to be at the same time as the DreamHack Showdown. So right now, they're trying potentially to bank up the points so that they can stay first in the standings at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that DreamHack Showdown's another great event for women in gaming, and in CSGO in particular, not only in NA, but also in EU. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams that are playing in here, if they've even qualified for DreamHack Showdown, and how many of those players are going to be performing well in the DreamHack Showdown as well. But I think that this game is going to kick off pretty soon, and I'm excited to see Train, because it's not a map you see all too often anymore. I know a lot of people aren't too fond of its very long-range duels in a lot of scenarios, as well as very claustrophobic angles around the trains.
I love Train, and I know this is one of the favorite maps of Dig and CLG Red. So just so you guys know, if you have to play them, both teams are very solid. That's why every time I see Silhouette battling for that Train versus Dig, which is the second week in a row as we're in week 2, I'm always extremely scared to see the results. And we're going to go in the game pretty soon. I think all the players are ready. We're about couple of seconds away from going to 9th round. Prediction, Bugs?
Well, honestly, I think this one is going to be a much closer game than what we just saw. I think it might even go to overtime, potentially.
Ooh.
But I'm going to give the edge to Dig.
Okay.
Because it's Train, and you need that team play on T side. And without a good T side, you will get shut down. And it's not going to be a very easy comeback on CT side. If you can get less than 4 rounds on T side Train, it's not going to be a fun time. So you need to get, I'd say, 5-6 rounds on T side Train, definitely at least 6, to really secure yourself a solid half.
Okay, I'm going to go with you just because of the last week's performance, but maybe this time Android and Zelsis will also make a difference. So we'll see what happens, but I honestly, it's hard not to say Dig are the favorite. They are a dominant team, and they've been dominant all, I think, for the last 5 years in NA.
Yes, indeed. I mean, I think you think of you have the two giants of female CS:GO and NA. It's Dig and CLG Red, both those two teams going back and forth at each other time and again. But I feel like Dig does normally come out on top of a lot of those engagements. Especially recently, I think like Thea was a fantastic pickup for Dig, and she's brought a lot of new life to that roster.
And as we go live into this match, let me remind you that today we are playing for the Super Girl Gamer Pro week number 2. This is our semifinal, Dignitas versus Silhouette, and we're gonna see a full-on rush from Silhouette into Inner.
You gotta love the rush B call early on. There's a flashbang out, but there's still a smoke and another flash on Athena. It's gonna be an early pick for Neck, though. And actually, no, Thea and Marlon Brando have found 2 kills. That's Zealous got as well. It's all down to Lunar Cats and Android. The USP's reigning supreme at range here on Train. And the fast play falls about as soon as it started. It's a 5v2 hold for Dig now, and they should not have any problems locking this one down. Even aggressive peeks like this from Neck should not even go that far. And Android does get that kill, but still, the bomb is down, back bomb Train, and it's under the control of Dig. Although if they continue taking these 1v1 duels, they might get picked apart here. That's a good smoke, though, to buy some more time. That 17 seconds that Dig will not have to worry about. Aside from Heaven Exit, and I think Rain has this locked down.
Rain here with, honestly, 4 player support into this bomb side, and it's going to be all in the hands of Android, 16 HP, and he's going to go down in the hands of Emily. Dignitas winning the first round into this really intense matchup. I need to say, I think that Dignitas ran the exact same pistol as last week. Tia was exactly where Heartstar was, and the same outcome happened. As in, whoever was Spindle got 2 kills. But this time, Dignitas securing this round is pretty huge, as Emily is going to get the kill. And we're going to see a full round here. Full save round for Silhouette.
I believe that next move is XP3, so...
Yes, Neck is XP3, and Marlon Brando is actually... not Brandina, it's Brante, I think. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I love calling him Brandina to make it like XP3 is the only male player in the server.
I'll pick up on that one.
Let's go, Brandina!
Well, right now it's going to be a very lopsided fight. You see 3 FAMASas out on the CT side versus a full AK5 stack for Silhouette. Although the Molotov will keep them at bay, they do have one aggressive player in towards Ivy. That's going to be Android. And there's nobody from Dignitas watching that Ivy wrap. This could end up coming back to bite them if they're not careful. As Android seems to have no brakes on this walking train. He continues moving up forward, closer and closer. Rain will drop a smoke in the nick of time, though. That will keep Android at bay. A couple pot shots ring through as well to keep him back towards the server. as the rest of Silhouette seem to be just chilling out in towards White Halls. No real move elsewhere on the map. And actually, no, Athena will pick up, or Athena will fall to Brandina. That's a good start for Dig as they get the first pick here. But the bomb is still heading in towards the B site, and Android loses out that duel against Rain. If Thea gets 2 kills here, even 1 kill, it should be all over for Silhouette in this first gun round.
Yeah, as the trades is happening on this map, Zelsis getting the kill onto Tia. That missed shot here from Amelie could have been costly for Dig, but unfortunately for Silhouette, that molly onto Naomi hurting them so much. We're gonna need a miracle from Zelsis here as he is left in a 1v3, but he's gonna fall to XP3. It's gonna bring the score to 2-0 for Dig, but lots of kills into this round for Silhouette.
Indeed, that's going to really hurt the economy of Dignitas. They don't really have a great bank as it is. They will save 2 AKs, yes, and they can get ops up, but they still won't have the best economy moving forward. That bomb plant, though, not going to secure a full buy for Silhouette either. So they're still in that rough spot. I think a half buy would be the best call for the T side here. Maybe some deagles, but it doesn't look like Silhouette's T side really has the cohesion necessary to get anything done just yet.
No, you're right, and also Rain's timing and alley was pretty stellar here as Zelsis bought an AK and he's able to get a kill onto XP3 with a beautiful flash from Naomi, yes. So,
double!
The double Kobe. Rain is coming in huge in these last 2 rounds.
She's raining hell upon him.
Absolutely, yes, she gets the triple kill. And is she gonna be able to go for the ace?
Oh, she does get it!
She did!
It starts with the double Kobe, then the triple spray, or the double spray down out towards T-Con to be the bookends of a great round for Rain. As, well, that's just stellar stuff. The A1S, too, not something you normally see every day. But that slower fire rate not going to be a detriment for her, and that initial double nade, too, was absolutely perfect. Her timing, again, though, impeccable back towards Ivy.
Rain, I'm so happy because I thought I was gonna do a cast a curse on her, but they did the opposite. It's like I summoned the ace, so I'm really glad she got it. It could have been really dangerous for Dig. Actually, she did not get the ace there, as the players were falling a little bit left and right. Silhouette was getting more picks, but it's still a 4-0 score line for Dig and versus Silhouette. And although the money, like you mentioned a couple of times, is still not stable on the CD side, the momentum is definitely on their side. And we're going to need to see a round coming out of Silhouette soon to be able to shift that, break a little bit the spirit of Dignitas.
And Emilite's gone for the op, too. There's no counter on Silhouette. They're stuck on rifles, and Android's already taken a lot of damage. He's down to half health. It's a very good start for Dig again in this round, and Silhouette continue to stall their way around the map looking for opening picks, but they don't have the op to really go for those long-range engagements, and the Krieg is not exactly half as good as it used to be, so it's not going to be a viable option either. They need to be making good use of their utility here, but a dry peek from Zelsis means Rain can get 6 kills in a row. Emily strikes onto Athena. Great shot back towards the red train. Lunar Cats will work up, but Emily will swap back. Rain will still stop one more for Cam. Actually, never mind. Lunar Cats goes for 1. XP3 will trade it back, but it's down just Naomi now as Emilite has yet another kill. Will be actually XP3 to go down, but Emilite will strike with revenge. Only 2 casualties for Dig. It's absolutely massive for their bank, and no bomb plant means Silhouette cannot get a full buy in this next round. It should be a 6-0 start for Dignitas, and that's a phenomenal way to start off your CT side of Train.
It's a phenomenal, I can't even pronounce it back, and we're going to see 5 deagles into this round, so it should be a slower pace trying to go for kills here as we see 3 players from Silhouette trying to take round out control. It's definitely the mid-rounds are extremely difficult here for Silhouette as Luna Cards is able to get the first kill onto Tia for our team into this round. But like I was trying to mention, the mid rounds seems to be really going in favor of Dig. That teamwork and that cohesion or communication seems a little bit better so far into this game.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to have a more puggy style, you want to go for a map closer to like Mirage, or I would say even Actually, I wouldn't go so far as to say Vertigo, because that's a map that you need a lot of good nade placements to really get control of sites. Anyway, but I'd say at Mirage, maybe Inferno, Dust 2 as well. But here on Train, it's so hard to get things done without that set practice, without the communication and the chemistry that comes with a long-standing team. And while Lunar Cats might just have something in this 1v4, already eliminated the op and seems to be aware of this flank. Definitely here's Brandina coming in from the back lines. That flash will do nothing as it's another crisp headshot. But now 2 players dancing around H2. And it's Rain again to shut it down, as Rain is on an absolute tear right now. It seems like she's winning all of her duels.
Yes, and actually the only time I thought she kind of died was because of a whiff of one of our teammates 2 rounds ago or something. At least that we were able to witness, but Dig here winning that round. Good effort from Lucas. She was stuck in a 1 versus 4. But once again, it does seem like I want to see more utility usage from Silhouette. Luna Kurtz in that station had a smoke. She could have smoked, which lower ramp would have helped Naomi potentially stay alive. And that pick here into fast-paced outside coming from Silhouette is very interesting, as Zelzis gets the kill through the smokes and Lurkutz is able to get a kill while Brandina is completely blinded by his teammate Emily.
Lunar Cats finally falls, though, and Rain is dancing around the red train. 1 more kill, spots out the gun barrel of Zelsis, but it is Emilite to avenge Thea. The double op setup could come through from Dig if they wanted to, but no, Rain will keep the AK. Still could come out, but I think that Dig are more than happy with the rifles on the majority of these players. Emilite is hitting her shots when she needs to. Rain is just getting all the kills with the A1S. Brandina's chiming in, XP3 as well. Thea still at 3 and 3, so I feel like Thea just really hasn't been seeing many people as the B anchor. But I mean, there's not much more you can ask of her. When they have gone B, she's done her job and bought time for those rotations to come through. It's another full buy from Silhouette, however, but it is Zelsis to finally take down Rain and potentially bring some sunshine to this clouded day that Silhouette's having.
Sunshine as the rain is gone. I like it. And in this round, we can see that Dignitas money is still kind of effy. So even though they're winning 7-0, this could turn out to be 8-0 for Silhouette if they start lining up rounds, which is looking pretty great here as we are into this 5 versus 3. First time so far in this AF that Silhouette is ahead by 2. And I don't want to be the caster curse here, as all of Silhouette is trying to converge outside, but the bomb is still above here. I'm not sure if Myrna and the rest of Silhouette knows.
Zelsis is the only one alive.
Oh my god, what just happened?
I'm not too sure. All of a sudden, I check the right side and I only see Zelsis.
I'm shocked. I'm speechless, ladies and gentlemen. We were not in the eyes of the action except for Athena dying. But what I was able to see is that the bomb was down upper.
Yeah, it was
like
down in the office.
Browns. Or yeah, in the office. And everybody was outside and there was no bomb to be seen. So that was definitely a problem there. But there's so much time left in the round, it shouldn't have came down to this.
Oh, that's a good opening from Zelsis again, but Emily is right back for the trade. Brandina follows to Zelsis as well, as he keeps on walking around this A side trying to control everything. Thea will swing, but she will go down as well. The flash being not enough to take down Zelsis. Now it's 2 ops. XP3 and Emily, now just XP3, who has eliminated Naomi, but Zelsis will pick up the big green himself and jump on. Good old XP3.
Second ace in this game, and we were in the eyes of Zelsis the whole time. Observer magic, I think you're doing something here, because we witnessed a full-on ace from A to Z here from Zelsis. Is this gonna be the round that Silhouette needed? Because look at what we have on Dig's side. They have to go on a save with 5 nades coming towards mid. Is Zelsis gonna be able to survive? Nope.
That could have been huge for Brandina if she took the next kill, but Android will triple down now. More opportunities for another ace spot. Rain in towards Sandwich, but Android continuing on. It's going to be the ace steal from Naomi, as Emilite will pick up an AK, but I don't think she'll go for anything else. I think she'll just try and save here. But no, it seems she's content to go back towards Old Bomb and try and find something to the back lanes. Couple more kills could just spark a retake. There is no armor on her, however, and that could be a differentiating factor, as well as the fact that there's no kit anywhere on site as far as I can tell. But still, any damage that Emily can do is good damage to the economy of Silhouette, and, well, I guess you'll just keep the AK now. Doesn't find anybody, and the AK moving on to the next round will be a nice bonus.
So we didn't get an ace, but we got something else. Boggs, were you able to see in the kill feed?
I didn't.
We got a Zeus kill!
We got a Zeus kill again?
Yes, Emily was able to get a Zeus kill.
That's how she got the kill?
Yeah, I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I believe that's how she got the gun.
That's crazy. Another Zeus.
2-on-2 we are tonight. This is what we need to see. This is the kind of action I needed tonight.
We
Zeus
need
kills.
more love for the Zeus.
Yep. And this is gonna bring us to 8-2 Silhouette on a double win streak as they get into this round. Athena here throwing the double duo smoke outside with her teammate as the rest of Silhouette is going into a debuff. Tia is gonna get contact in her. She loses a little bit of HP. She overstayed, I think, her timing behind the wall, but she was able to stay alive, and XP3 across the map gets the first kill onto Myrna.
And XP3 continues his aggression here. Spots out Android behind the blue train, but Android actually hits two heads. Does more damage onto Rain. A follow-up nade could do more, but Naomi has Emily on the push-up towards E-Box. Rain is caught out in camera, and she will get shut down here. Naomi has two of her own, and Thea's left alone on a 1v4. And there's a flank coming in from behind as well as Lunar Cats. Thea is wise to this, and she will hit that shot with the FAMAS, but the plant comes through. It's a very rough spot for Thea, although she can isolate the 1v1. She might be able to win this, especially given the fact that Android is low here. The smoke, though, will keep her at bay for longer, and I think it might just be a save call again. 3 rounds straight for Silhouette, as they had the goose egg for so long, but now that CT economy never really being allowed to stabilize has come into factor, and the frags are showing up for Silhouette now. They're starting to pitch themselves a comeback.
If you can hear me, Observer, can you press tab and let us see the ADR? Chat is asking for it, and now I'm curious. I want to know, too, who is doing some damage into this game, because as you can see, there's a lot of triple and quadruple kills. That triple kill here from, it was Android, I think, happened so fast that I had to yell, and I feel that I've been yelling almost every round with my because we are seeing so much multi-frags. But it looks like we never actually see the scoreboard on our side, so I don't think it's gonna be possible. And TS to check out ADR for us in game.
Might get it at half though, so we'll keep an eye out for that for you. This aggressive push coming in through the B ramp, though, might just yield itself a kill or two. The pistols close range are always dangerous, and it only yields 1 kill for Athena. Lunar Cats will find one elsewhere, but Rain and Brandina are equalizing. It's a 3v3. There's AKs on 2, and Thea still has that AK saved with armor and a kit. Another kill on Naomi now, and this could swap the tide here. Brandina swaps to an AK, but Android is there for the trade. Here's the drop in towards Pop Dog as well, and Rain will fall. Thea will go down to Zelsis. There was a chance for the round to swing the way of Dig, but it is taken away by Silhouette as they blot out the chances. And it's going to be another half buy, it seems, for Dig, unless Emily and Brandina are going to be on a much less buy as opposed to the rest of the team.
Yeah, and again, we mentioned it. I was scared it was going to be, you know, a complete turnaround in this game as soon as Dig was going to lose one round, just because of the economy. It was as simple as that. They were able to capitalize on the rounds they were winning to secure a bank. And it looks like for 4 rounds in a row, Silhouette is coming out on top, and their confidence is showing as they are taking a better fight, better 1v1, winning and coming out on top. And I'm not gonna lie here, Android is doing a lot of work onto the T side as well as Zelsis.
Indeed, there's that ADR. Elite actually has the most, XP3 just behind her, 96 to 91. Android with 97, Zelsis with 93 for the side of Silhouette.
Ooh,
and Android actually has a 90% headshot percentage.
Oh, I'm glad we were able to see it for you, NTS. I hope this fulfilled your requests. And we are now into round number 14. Only 2 rounds remaining in this half. This half is going by so fast. Not a lot of mid rounds and end rounds. These kills are happening pretty early in every round. It looks like Brandina is going to get ready for a pop flash into T-Con. But Silhouette I was about to say ready for it, but it looks like Athena missed the memo.
Yeah.
She's gonna jump back into mid with her knife out.
I think she thought she was playing KZ for a second there.
Good kill here on Tia from Lunar Cats. The timing was impeccable after that mid push for Silhouette to take a B control, and then they capitalized on it, and Tia is probably by herself, and they're able to secure a bomb plant here, as well as be in a 4 versus 2 situation. Scratch that 1 versus 4 situation in favor of Silhouette.
And now a none versus 4 as Emily falls.
A none versus 4. This is going to be the last round of this half, as Dig has lost 6 rounds in a row in this first semifinals.
Yeah, I mean, it was an 8-round streak for Dig, and now a 6-round streak in return for Silhouette. And I think you mentioned it right before Silhouette started going on their streak, was that it could be a 7-0 for Silhouette because the money on Dig was still in that rough spot.
Yep.
And once Silhouette started getting that momentum, they've just been hitting all of their shots and winning all of their duels. It was Rain in the early going, but now it's everybody on Silhouette.
Oh!
Zealous is with the 1. I thought that was Athena through the smoke for a second there.
I thought that was her too, but Zilsis came out T-Con, and it's turning to be a fast 1v5 here, all in the hands of Tia. But she has a little SMG's full util, but is it gonna be enough to win the round? It's looking grim, Boggs.
Grim indeed. And, well, there is some utility, but Android's still lurking around the T connector. And I don't think there's... Yeah, Thea gets the dink, but the AK will win out in that 1v1 headshot engagement every single time. And it is the 8-7 half. Silhouette with an amazing comeback, 7 straight, to bring it back to as close as it gets, moving on to the side swap. And if Dig lose this pistol round, I think Silhouette would be on pace for a very strong finish, potentially wiping the board with Dignitas in this game.
And we're now live for half number 2 of the semifinal in the Supergirl Pro Gamer week number 2 Counter-Strike edition, and Zelsis is gonna face the wrath of... Never mind, they went down ladder, and it's gonna be an outside pick for Dignitas.
Plant not coming through, though. Android Naomi finding head, but Brandina will strike back on the Glock. XP3 and Thea working their way around towards Sandwich and Olaf. Android, though, will not relinquish the hell position. The bomb plant will be chased away and back towards B, but Zelsis is already on the rotation back. He will beat them before they come down the ramp, and he might just hit the headshot, too, on these exiting Ts. Though he doesn't, but still the plant has not come through. Brandina will have to stick, but XP3 falls to Zelsis. The plant has not yet come through, and it will not at all. Zelsis charges in for 2 as well, and Silhouette, they win the pistol round. They deny the bomb plant, too.
How did Zelsis not die here? It's a mystery to me, because both Brandina and XP3 were shooting him for at least 10 bullets each, and he didn't even lose half HP from these fights. Was able to get both kills eventually and deny that bomb plant. Huge round for Silhouette. We have a game, Boggs! 8-8 in the second half.
We do indeed, and it might just be 9-8 for Silhouette as well, as it's P250s, a deagle, and a bit of utility for Dig. They don't have a lot to play with here, as they did not get the bomb down. They got, I think, what, a kill? So
I think so, yeah. Looking at the money, I think that's what happened.
yeah, it's not a good spot for them to be on this T side, and with Silhouette having full control of this momentum, a bomb plant would be huge, and it will come through as XP3 and Emilite getting kills. A Glock kill for Emilite as well. Up close, XP3 might just take down one more, but no, it's a mow down. Android, Lunar Cats, and Athena all finding the frags they need, but Lunar Cats is low, and if Athena falls, she's the only one with full health. Brandina takes Android down to the red as well, and now 2 body shots will finish him off. A smoke might not be enough. There's no hit. No, it's on Lunar Cats. Holy, the shot from Brandina. Now the follow-up. It's a headshot, the overkill as well, as Dig win back on what was essentially an eco round.
I have my hand on my mouth. What a round from Brandina. Also, what a mess up from Silhouette. There was a lot of issues in that round. First of all, probably Zelsis and Naomi's communication when Dig was rushing in. They were not covering each other. The positioning was kind of off. And then after that, in that 1 versus 3, Brandina is not supposed to get away with this. Rough round for Silhouette. This might have been their chance to be ahead in this game for the first time. The Dig is finding all the kills necessary in this round to make it a 10-8.
Cats goes with an Eagle Spray, will eliminate Emelite, but it was actually Brandina holding onto the op this time, so that will still move forward for Dignitas. The money, though, it's broken again for Silhouette.
Let me just say, ooh la la. I would have paused here. I would have taken like a little bit of a time to breathe in and breathe out for Silhouette just to reset, because we're going into a full save here. Pistols in hand. It's gonna really help Dig's economy.
Yeah, I feel like maybe their reasoning is just go for the timeout on a full gun round, but
Yeah, I would agree with that, actually. Yeah.
they still, I think they do need to call a timeout entirely. So, but given the fact that they didn't call a timeout once on that 8-0 streak for Dignitas, I would be surprised if Dignitas would call, or rather Silhouette would call a timeout at any point in this game. Because the old sponge timeout thing is you call a timeout if you're down 6-0. And Silhouette made no reason. Yeah, it's one of the two, 5 or 6, and Silhouette just didn't make use of that tactical timeout.
No timeout still from either teams, and no Operino in ends from Silhouette either. Only a snapper from Bernina. She was pretty successful last round with it, but Naomi is gonna deny that op kill into ladder room, and no one was there to trade Brandina. A little bit of overconfidence potentially here from Brandina. Naomi not even shooting the feet here.
That's really good discipline.
She could have gotten the kill, I think. What do you think?
She might have, but I think that would have just revealed her position more, but instead she does fall to Rain, who charges out a T-Con. SK drop comes into pop dog, but Lunar Cat's and E-Box spots out 2, takes down 2. Emelite will trade, and what a shot from XP3! Android falls 2, it's all down to Zelsis. Emelite is low, there's a Molotov here, but the bomb has not yet crossed the site. It is recovered by Emelite. But another, actually it's a smoke to go in towards Z. We'll keep Zelsis at bay, but he might just spot, the shot through the feet. That's the bomb spotted and stopped.
Now 1v1 here. We have XP3 versus Zelsis, and as you saw, XP3 kind of shot here in mid-air to pretend he kept that Operino after the bomb plant, but Zelsis in the perfect positioning. I don't think XP3 was aware there was a huge gap in that smoke, which allowed Zelsis to walk out with full confidence. Kind of getting Zeus, getting sprayed here, and Zelsis is making sure to show dominance as he's going to get to the defuse, which is going to be the first round for Silhouette since that catastrophic save round on 2B.
It's a great recovery, too, because it was a really rough buy. They had basically no utility, only a couple kits. They had FAMASas on half of their team. So
look at that timeline.
Yeah. You just see a block and then another block.
Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking about. And our first op onto Bernardina here for Silhouette, and she is gonna be using that towards green as the Android gets straight up in time in ladder room.
That was a great drop coming in from Thea. She is low, and actually Brandina falls first. XP3 gets eliminated by Athena. But still, that health on Thea is going to be such a huge factor here for what Dig can do. She has a flashbang, now picks up a Molotov, and Athena will deal with her as well. Rain looking for more, but it's Athena with the 3K on the op. Naomi comes in for one more, and Silhouette strike back. That's 2 in a row now, and they are 1 round away from equaling the scoreline at 11-11. But the money for Dig is in a really weird spot again. They can buy on 3, but have a half on 2. It's going to be a MAC 10 for Thea. XP3, is there an AK down for him? Is he on a... Okay, it's an op.
Yeah, it seems like these freeze time, European timing freeze time are extremely short, which is not something any players are used to. I'm, even as a caster here, is thinking it's going hella fast in between each round, not much time to reset. Hence why pauses might even be more the reason to be used. And Silhouette almost with a clean round last round. As we're going to see the first in corner here onto inner. Celsius winning its fight versus Tia in 1v1.
Does take a lot of damage though from Thea, but still Lunar Cats will get one more. Naomi strikes from Pop Dog. That's Brandina down. It's the op of Emelite and the AK of XP3. They're going to be working down in towards B. It's actually Emelite eliminated Celsius at long last, out towards Spools. So there is an opening pick, at the very least, towards this B site, but the rotations come in from Android as well. Or not from Android, but from Athena.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the op of Emelite's going to have to do a lot of work here. That came so close, but doesn't connect. And Android, this should be his round to win.
And he's going to get 2 kills into this round. Kind of formality here for Silhouette, as it was a 2 versus 4. And although the op battle was kind of iffy for both players in Connect there, it gave away the position, and Android had a free double. I don't want to say free double, but a good chance at getting that double kills. Positioning was great. It's 11-11. Potentially the first time in this half and in this game that Silhouette is able, in a position to be ahead and in the lead in this matchup, as we're going to see Ali take all versus Mirna here versus Athena with the op towards Ali. She's going to have to be extremely careful here, as we're going to see 5 players of Dig ready for a battle.
This is a good start if she lands the first shot. Indeed she does. Lunar Cats is here as well, but she's over towards 6. And Athena's isolated back in Old Bomb, only getting 1 kill. But here comes Naomi, good for 2. But no, it's XP3 to strike back, but Lunar Cats will finally push through the Ivy lane and take down the back 2. It's a great finish up from Silhouette. They will still save at least 1 op. They will save 1 op, it seems.
Oh,
but they do
scary was
lose the
that
second.
round. That was extremely scary. XP3 getting their double kills. If Lunar Cats here is not on the fast flank, could have been extremely dangerous. But thankfully, even if we lost that many people, we're still able to go on a full buy for Silhouette, full utility. Everything is ready for this 5v5 matchup. 1 op and ends for both teams, and it looks like we're going to go into a ladder take here for ooh.
That was risky from Android, and he pays for it dearly. A bit of an engagement out towards E-Box and T-Con, too. We'll see both Rain and Lunar Cats low on health, but that's not something that Silhouette can afford right now. They've already lost 1. Lunar Cats is a walking dead person at pretty much at this point. And, well, for Silhouette, this is their chance to start to stabilize a lead. But they're already down in the player count, and XP3 is in a prime spot to lurk out towards A.
I don't know if he knows there's anyone in hell, but Lunar Cat's aim was a little bit too high, so she's not able to capitalize on her position to get the kill, and XP3 just continues his hunt towards Ali, and he is able to connect, leaving Celsius in a 1 versus 4. After getting the kill on Tia, he's gonna go down to Emily. 12-12. This game is not over, ladies and gentlemen. We are in it for the long run.
Indeed we are, and at this point, I would not be surprised to see some overtime come through.
You called it.
I did. I mean, I thought it would be close, but I didn't think it would be close in this fashion. Didn't think we'd see a first half that went 8 and then 7, and the second half be very back and forth.
Very interesting game indeed. Lots of, I want to say, not a lot of mid rounds, like I mentioned the first game as well. It's been very intense. The trades are coming very intensely in Celsius here. I think we're in position to gather at least some intel to support us.
Is Naomi's directly under the ladder, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she was in her own smoke after that double molly. She was able to remain there without losing much HP. As Android gets a second kill too. Huge round here for Silhouette.
Yeah, especially as they had FAMASas coming into this for the most part, but the health on Thea and Brandina makes it pretty much unwinnable at this point, unless the headshots are pixel perfect. I don't think it's going to be a round for Dig here. I think that they might just go for a kill or two if they can, but overall, I think it should be a relatively clean round for Silhouette. They're going to march right into where Zelsis is hanging out. He is the lowest HP player for Silhouette, and that could enable things, but Athena's watching the background with the op as well. One cross has been spotted. Brandina falls to Zelsis, and Thea will go down to the op as well. Zelsis will try to avoid dying off the train and makes it down safely.
Yeah, good round here from Silhouette. They won pretty much all their battles across the map, which is really important because it does feel like Dig is relying on flushing Silhouette out of ladder and trying to take T-Con and Olaf control. It's been pretty successful for them, but not this time. Silhouette is able to adjust. Being in the lead early as well as we go into the save round. Naomi getting the double into ladder, but dropping Arcanians of Emily.
Chance for Emily to do some damage, but Lunar Cats will do the deed out towards Olaf. 2 quick kills towards T-Con, leaving Emily to fall to her hand as well. The Silhouette will grab a 14th on the board in very clean fashion. Dig, they have one real buy round left before it is match for Silhouette. This potentially is their last chance to equalize here. And even then, the money for Silhouette, well, it's not great on Lunar Cats or Naomi. But still, 3 players could have a full buy, and we've seen what Silhouette are able to manage with the Mosses in their hands. Dig realistically have to win this one. They have to do it cleanly.
Did not think we would be in this situation right now where Silhouette is in the lead 14-12, putting Diggs back against the wall. But this first kill here from Bandina onto Zelsis is crucial. If I'm not mistaken, Zelsis is in the lead on the kill feed for Silhouette. So this is huge for Dig to get that pick that early into this game, into this round.
It is indeed, and still, Thea's only taken 8 points of damage too, so the health is definitely far favoring Dignitas. That was a very aggressive peak of another high-octane play that we've seen. That's been the tail of this game so far, where both teams seem to just like holding W. That's a great nade, though. That's so much damage. That's going to put Silhouette in a situation where they still have another nade in hand. They don't have any more Molotovs, but the health on these players is going to be a lot easier to take down. But Emily will actually strike for 1. They don't clear spools, however, and Android strikes for 2. He swings out. Emily's looking for more. I believe she spots the player back towards red. The shot does not connect on spools, but in this 2v2, XP3 is a critical flank coming in through Z, and he might just have the backstab onto these 2 players back towards H2. Lunar Cats is watching, and she will strike. Android aggresses onto Emily, and it will be match point for Silhouette, who look to take this match over our winners of week 1, Dignitas.
Very surprised Silhouette was able to come back into this round after losing their initial battle onto upper Android with the crucial nade and then able to get triple kill. It looks so easy on a screen. Getting these kills at Spindle and that awareness from Lunar Cats watching flank onto XP3. Most crucial moment in that round.
Zelsis going down so low is an opportunity for Dig, but they have to capitalize on it. Lunar Cats, though, has opened things up and opened the account for Silhouette in this round. That's not the start that Dig needed. They had a good chance with the damage dealt to Zelsis, but they weren't able to do anything with it. And now they're all spread out. 1 in Whitehall's, 1 on T-Ramp, and then 2 back towards the office. I'm not so sure where Dig want to go, and it seems that their mid-rounds, when they have had these opportunities to go for the mid-round, haven't exactly been the most successful here. Out towards Olaf, it's going to be XP3 and Rain, and now just XP3 as he Rain falls early. XP3 is still alive somehow, but he eventually gets dealt with by Android, and takes down Brandina as well, and Emilite will be the next one to walk into the firing line as Android with the hat trick to finish out the map, and it is the upset here. Silhouette to take the map.
The upset. Who would have thought? We were both wrong. We went 2 casters for 0 for Dignitas because of last week's strong performance. But today, unfortunately for Dig, they had a great start. They were ahead 8-0. If you tuned in at the beginning of this match, you probably thought this was going to be an easy win for Dig. But unfortunately for them, Silhouette was able to come back into that F and show a strong presence on their own CT side, which led to a final score of 16-13.
Indeed it did. But that T-side comeback from Silhouette, that 7-round streak, I think was the catalyst that lit their fire and brought them back into that game. It looked over at 8-0, but Silhouette never gave up. They never faltered, and they pushed back and won this match.
Absolutely. And I thought we were going to see another final with Dig, and another week of Silhouette being disappointed. The rematch game actually happened, and it's now 1-1 Dig versus Silhouette. So hopefully we can get them on to week number 4, because week number 3, they're both going to be playing in the showdown, as we mentioned a little bit earlier. But before we go to break, I just want to mention our amazing support from our sponsor who are making this event possible, which is, I'm making sure to get my list so I don't forget these amazing names. We have Nissan, hopefully I pronounce it right with my French accent, US Air Force, Zenny, the glasses, you'll see a cool commercial coming up, US Marines, as well as GameStop. Thank you so much for supporting us. And Bugs, we'll be right back with the other semifinals with, I think it's Able Esports. I'm sure it's Able Esports versus Violent Roses. We'll be right back after this break.
I never thought I'd feel this way.
No, don't hold on to me.
It's all worth it.
Ladies, Chris.
I hear that's really bad for you.
What? No, this is about finding true love.
No, I mean the screen.
Oh, no, we're all good there. These Zenny lenses, they block the blue light.
I mean, that's still really bad for you.
This is amazing. Please go away.
Chelsea.
Oh, no, don't pick her. Oh.
So I'm gonna hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you?
Wait, what?
The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there.
Nope.
Watch this.
Breathe.
Rear automatic braking.
So if this Nissan Sentra isn't going to compromise, why should you? You're right.
Atta girl.
The all-new Nissan Sentra with more standard safety features than any other car in its class.
No one knows where it comes from. Why some have it and some don't. It's the fighting spirit. It consumes fear and weakness. It stands ready to fight whatever shape the battle takes. Because as long as there are battles, there will always be Marines.
You can trade all the games, accessories, consoles, and tech you don't use anymore to get cash or store credit at GameStop. Check out the Trade Center on the GameStop app, visit GameStop.com/trade, or talk to a guest advisor at your local GameStop store to see how much your trades are worth.
For a long time, we had to prove ourselves. But we always knew what we were capable of. We knew when the time came, we would be ready for anything. Our numbers keep rising. And so do we.
Welcome back to week 2 of Supergirl Gamer Pro. My name is Miss RV, and I'm joined today with Austin, aka Boggs. Am I pronouncing Austin right? With the
Yes,
Frenchy
ma'am.
accent? Okay, I like it. And we had great games so far. We already casted 2 games, so let's go check out the brackets to see a little bit what happened so far in this week 2 of these mini tournaments, because every week is brand new. So we had a first round matchup of Able versus Russian female V2, who came out unfortunately at the bottom of this fight. And on the other not on the other side, on the other match for this bracket, Violent Roses 1 versus Jibakat. And this is leading us to our current semifinal, Able Esports versus Violent Roses.
Yeah, and it's another direct rematch too, similar to the semifinal we just broadcasted between Silhouette and Dig. And this one is also on Inferno to spoil the veto process there, just like it was last week.
Yeah, I think the teams are probably close to be ready anyway, so we don't have to break down that veto. It is the same map as last week. It is the same teams as round 1 of last week. This is a complete rematch, like you mentioned, and I'm loving these storylines. We're only in week 2, and we're already seeing these back-to-back storylines. So how exciting is it for Able to be in that situation and potentially get their revenge onto Violent Roses, and at the same time for Violent Roses to hopefully get to the finals and be close, if not ahead of Dignitas in the rankings. Actually, they cannot be ahead of Dignitas, but they could tie up Dignitas after next week in the rankings, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, they could be ahead. Yeah, they could be ahead.
Yeah.
My man was right the first time. My instinct was right. They could be ahead because Dignitas is leaving this week with only 50 points. So they're going to be at 150 after week 2. And potentially Violent Roses could be at 175 after week 2. So this is great. Like I said, storylines. Who would have thought that we would be in this situation after week 2 in this Supergirl event?
Yeah, I mean, if Violent Roses even get second place, they tie with Dignitas. So
yeah,
it's a huge opportunity for them to put themselves into a great spot, not to mention the fact that Dignitas will not be with us for week number 3. So there's a massive chance for Violent Rose to be able to grab that first spot and try and pull that forward and get themselves a guaranteed top 4 to qualify for the finals in October.
Absolutely. And this format is very exciting because this is one of the very few formats that work this way. Every week is a new little mini tournament where teams get to win points depending on their final standing, and we are accumulating all these points after 9 weeks of Counter-Strike events to have our top 4 join us at the Supergirl Gamer Pro Finals held at the Supergirl event in San Diego, the Surf Pro event in San Diego.
That's a great event, and any team who qualifies will have an absolute blast there. It's a beautiful setting, and it's a great festival to celebrate women in sports, esports, and, well, a chance to make some cash too and, play on LAN.
Yeah.
We haven't had a LAN in quite some time, so.
It feels really weird to be talking about real life events right now, but hopefully in October we might be there, and we're about to get into this second semifinal. But before we do, let's talk a little bit about Violent Roses lineup, because it's the first time we see them tonight.
Yeah, tonight they have Giraffely, Nocturne, Andrea, NTS, and KY. So a roster, I think the only person I know directly on that team is Giraffely. I played with her a few times, so a little bit familiar with her play style. But other than that, I'm going in kind of blind.
Yeah, we saw them play versus Dig last week, which was a decent game. They unfortunately fell short. We're not able to get that win in the final. But NTS has been with us in the chat throughout the night, so we're finally happy to see them in game showing what they can do. And I see as well a couple of familiar faces in the chat, from Smiley from Able Esports. I wonder if she's joining them in that game. She had a hockey game. If you are not aware, Bugs, Canadian loves hockey. Are you Canadian?
I love hockey. I'm a hockey player.
Oh, damn. So you know about sacrificing a lot for your hockey matches. So Smiley was unfortunately not able to join them for game 1. And it looks like she's not going to be in the server for game 2 as well. But she's in the chat supporting her teammates from Able. And we're currently going live with the knife round with Violent Roses versus Able Esports.
I think that, again, if Able's able to win, they will go straight for that CT side. But the same could be said for Violent Rose. You don't normally see teams go for the T side to start things off unless they're overly confident in that offense. And it's going to be Violent Roses to be able to get that side choice. And, yep, they'll go straight for that CT side almost instantly. So they will have a good chance to start things off well, but actually, no. Well, it's the team names at the top. Never mind.
The team names at the top are both Ables, but they were just switched. We have a timeout right away, if I'm not mistaken, Able Esports with a timeout. So we are currently just holding for everyone to be ready, but we are live with our game number 3 of the night, semifinal number 2 between Violent Roses and Able Esports. Your caster for these games are Miss Sarvi and Boggs, and your roster will be for Violent Roses, NTS, Nocturne, Giraffely, Kai, and Andrea, as well as for Able Esports, Bouchard, Kimi, Slugmart, Exiliation, And our last player is rejoining the server, and I'm blanking out. Who was our last player again? Sapphire, that's it. The Canadian Sapphire is with us onto Able Esports side.
And hopefully Sapphire is able to join before that pistol round starts.
If I'm not mistaken, we got the disconnection rules earlier. If it's between the first 3 rounds, they have time to redo that game, and she is gonna connect. We're good. But Violent Roses use their timeout as well.
That's a classy move.
Very classy not to delay the whole process and having to redo the server and whatnot. So winning everyone sometimes. We're going to come back to casters while we wait for everything to get ready. Maybe they want to make sure that these pauses are available, so we might have to do a little bit of a replay. So I'm keeping an eye on chat to know what's going on in this game. But I can mention Smiley is not joining them, but Smiley, are you in the chat? I see you, Lee Misperceived from CLG Red. I also saw Goosey from CLG Red. Big friends of each other. I love loving some female team support. It's a support slash scouting. You know it is, right? It's important to know what your opponents are doing, but it's also important to be there to support your friends.
Yep, it's that friendly competition. You got to do your research and your scouting, but you also want to watch your friends. It's the same thing back when I was playing youth hockey. You'd watch your friends, but you also wanted to see what their team was doing, so you knew how to better beat them.
Absolutely. It looks like we're not gonna have to do a redo, and we're gonna be live onto this pistol round with 2 players on 1 player on each side with utility. Bouchard with a smoke, Flash, and Nocturne with a kit smoke for Violent Roses.
Looks to be the delayed apps hit too from Able Esports. And I think it might be a Hall's pop too. Bouchard has that flashbang in hand. Could be going for a moto smoke as well. But still, plenty of opportunities here. It's a 3-stack towards B from Violent Roses as well. So the A site is definitely vulnerable. There is the pit insight crossfire between NTS and Giraffely up on the boxes. Back left, but still the flash is going to come over. The smoke is down, but NTS has a huge opportunity to shut this down. 1 headshot for both these players, maybe more to come. Still, somehow these teams are alive and pushing in. Exhalation will eliminate Giraffely in the back lines. The plant is not able to come through. The bomb is down on the lanes, and NTS is still alive, and Pit somehow finally falls to Bouchard, but Nocturne is here. The full rotation, the cavalry has arrived, as Violent Roses are here to shut down this chance from Able Esports. Bouchard has 1, looking for more, needs more. But I don't know, the bomb is down, and there's no over-aggression, no over-peaks from Violent Roses. They are playing this to perfection here, not giving Bouchard any entry point back into this round.
Amazing round from Violent Roses. I'd be very surprised if Bouchard was able to get a kill, and she's gonna fall down to Kai. This is my golf club. I don't know if you guys can hear. I don't want to break your ears, but what a round by NTS and Giraffely. That perfect crossfire, that perfect timing onto the reload and everything from these 2. They want so much time for the rest of the team to rotate, not allowing Able to make it to the bomb site with a bomb plant here. What a pistol.
What a pistol indeed. No bomb plant is such an important factor in the modern economy of CSGO, so that's going to go a long way to boosting Violent Roses' chances in this round, especially as they're up against all Glocks, and I don't think I've seen a 5 Glock round actually work in any game I've ever casted. Hopefully I didn't just cast or curse that entirely. That's a great flash to start things off. However, Nocturne is not deterred. Kai will still strike 2, make it a 2nd kill down towards the pit. And a 3rd on Grill. Bouchard the last alive. And it's going to be the 4K, the quad from Oranges, as Kai will have to use the USP. But it doesn't matter. 3 kills in the MP9 with 1 on the pistol. Violent Rose is a relatively clean round up to round number 2. That's the AKs up for Able. And there's 3 MAC-10s on the side. Make it 4 MAC-10s on the side of Violent Roses.
Yeah, there's MAC kills, or MP9. Was it MP9 coming from Kai here, Banana? They were sharp, they were clear. And he loved me. It was really good. Actually, NTS gets the
team kill
here. This I was about to say 2v2 kills exchange, but it's not exactly what happened, as Bouchard in a really good position here to crush back the CTs. behind. Gets the double.
What?
One through smoke, killing NTS and killing Nocturne exposed in front of her. It's gonna leave Kai in a 1 versus 3. What a turn of events. This went from a 3v3 to a 1v3 so fast.
That double from Bashard, absolutely impeccable, opens up the round for Able Esports, and it should be what gets them this round unless Kai has something special up their sleeve. The bomb plant comes in back left, and there is the crossfire. One on balcony, one in pit, and one on site, and Kai's going to walk right into the heart of it. Actually, no, the pit player is going to be mini and big pit now. No more balcony play. But still, this crossfire is absolutely perfect for anybody walking out of balcony. One on site or one in pit should be able to take the kill onto Kai. Surely, Kai doesn't get anything at all, and it will be the backstab from Kimmy on the site. The first round goes the way of Able. And for Able Esports, they should be able to grab themselves a second too, as Violent Roses do not have the economy to reinvest into this next round.
Not a fan of going for these kind of rounds personally. As you can see, their money is really bad onto Violent Roses. I believe if Kai would have saved their M4, we could have gone for a full buy here. 2 of them were able to fully commit, so only 1 person would have been broke. But that's not the outcome of this round, and Able is going to get the first full gun round that he invested. And frankly, it looked pretty, I don't want to say easy, I don't think that's the right word here, but it was a push that did not pay off for Violent Roses.
I think considering the fact that they had 4 MP9s, that they kind of had to go for something aggressive, but they didn't have the utility behind it to really make that sort of push very fruitful. There was no nade stack, there was no flash spam, there was no chain of utility that really enabled them to get some kills, but Andrew is in a prime spot, will get the overkill on one, goes back for more, but Kimmy, lucky to be alive, will still be alive somehow, and NTS will snag 1 with the USP, but still, 2 casualties will be within the realm of acceptability for Able Esports, and they'll get the op out on Exhalation early on here. Round number 3, an op on the T side, but there is no sniper for Violent Roses. They're on M4s with a very minimal amount of utility here, only 1 Molotov and 1 HE.
And the score is 2-2, but it looks like Able has a slight little momentum effect here from winning round number 3 and 4. So let's see if they can capitalize on it for the first full gun round on both teams. And there's a pretty standard default here for Able, taking banana control without even being contested once by Violent Roses. No utility were thrown down banana, if I'm not mistaken. So it was pretty easy for Able to commit to that control.
Yes, indeed, and they're going to have full control of brackets, too. There's no contestion from Violent Roses. Just 1 back arches, 1 in pit, and 1 on site. No utility really holding back Able either. Not like they had anything to really throw at them in the beginning. But they're sorely limited now. 2 smokes, a flashbang, a Molotov. Make it just 1 smoke as Nocturne has used 1 of those towards the B site. The bomb is being salvaged back towards T stair. And Able are ready for this full 5-player push onto the A site. A smoke will go out, and the kills have to come through in full force from Violent Roses here. Kimmy, though, hunting in towards pit, might just spot out the player in there as Andrea goes down first. Actually, Sapphire to get the kill. This double up on site. We'll get 1, but Giraffely on Cold Zero Box might be able to strike for more. That's actually the bomb spotted. She'll drop off as well. And there's time for the rotations to come through a 3v3. There's nothing further to come from Giraffely. Nocturne comes up empty-handed as well, as Kimmy, head on a swivel, will turret 2 kills. And Kai, left alone in a 1v3, has no kit, and might just have to fall away here without any early pick.
Kimmy getting the triple here, huge, because if she lose her first duel, at least versus Giraffely and the side, this would have been a completely different outcome with only 20 seconds left into this round. And Kai now 1v3, I suspect they should go on a savior. Once again, I feel that they're overstaying their welcome, and it's gonna hurt in the long run if Violent Roses is not able to commit to these save rounds when the bomb is planted to bring the gun back to the next round.
Yeah, it's going to be another save for Violent Roses too. Was Able, I believe the score was 16-9 on this map, but already they've equaled 1/3 of the rounds they put on the board in the last time. And they're on the T side of Inferno as well. It's not often you see a team win on the T side of Inferno, but it is definitely possible. And a win on the T side would go a long way for Able to be able to win this map. and win this matchup and book themselves a spot in the finals and potentially be able to overtake Violent Roses as well. I think they would have to win to be able to do that, but it's still a possibility here. Sapphire holding for the aggression out towards Apartments will take down Andrea. Slugmart will be tapping away, looking for kills out towards Banana. This half-wall player of Kai could do damage, and indeed Kai will swing for one, but the trade is right there for Kimmy, and Giraffely's left alive as Able Esports have effectively plucked all of the feathers out of the cap of Violent Roses. And well, I guess maybe a rose analogy would be the best one, but the last rose has been plucked from the bunch.
I thought you were gonna go that way, plucked all the petal from the rose, but I still liked your input. And this is where I want to see Violent Roses not play passive at the beginning of the round. They gave way too much room for Able to be able to get to bracket. And even though they bracketed Banana, even though they gave all that room, it wasn't only. There was only like 20 seconds left into the clock when Able was able to plant the bomb. So if they start to contest a little bit more map control into their CT side, I do believe it's gonna hurt Able's default a lot.
I think so, and that's another thing. Violent Roses in their first gun round too, they played so passive on A. They have switched things up now. They have one in Porch and one towards Arch Corner, but it's still, they have no real map control. They have no alt mid information. They have no banana control whatsoever. And Able Esports have control of both of the extremities of the map. The only thing they don't have full control over is Apartments, but they don't know that they really could just go take it for free. That's a huge kill for Nocturne, though. Slugmart almost taking Nocturne out of the picture. But that might just be able to be a stabilizing agent for Violent Roses here. NTS, though, gets CS Gold as the M4 does 93-4 to Bouchard. And the Veggie Wrap's going to come through. Exhalation, the shotgun op will not connect on the one. Andrea in the pit going for more, but Sapphire is tapping away. Raptor has to retreat on site, will do damage, takes out an Exhalation, but Sapphire's there for a trade. Andrea, though, still standing tall. It's a 1v3. It's all down to Kimmy, but Kimmy starts it off well with the first, and there is time to get this plant down before Nocturne and Kai make their way into the site. Nocturne's also on a glass cannon op, and there is a kit on site, but no utility for these two CTs.
Wow, what can we say about this round? So many things to digest and analyze, but NTS over rotation here was almost extremely costly for Violent Roses. I'm not quite sure what the communication was at RAP, but they started running away with, if I'm not mistaken, either their gun was not looking at the enemy or they had their knife out, but they were running away and there was like 4 enemy in front of them. So I'm not quite sure what happened internally with Violent Roses, but it was definitely an over rotation, whether the calls were wrong or whether they got antsy. That was almost very scary for Violent Roses.
I think it's still very scary as they lost 3 players. They have not really established an economy at all. They keep having to go for these 4 sub buys. They're still stuck with 2 FAMASas and they don't really have a lot of utility here. So even though they might have won the round, they're still in a pretty rough spot.
Yeah, I would like to agree with that. And then Able, the way they challenged Nocturne at RAP last round was also questionable. I'm not quite sure I understood that dry peak push. But this time they are not forcing it, and I really do believe it's the right play, which allows them to go into that round and stage that round in a 5v5 format. Violent Roses giving away bracket once again. There's not a lot of map control for them. This is going to bite them in the ass at some point.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, without any map control, Able Esports is able to get so much information. They're able to group up and go wherever they want for essentially free, and they continue burning through the utility of the CT side until there's nothing left for the actual execution. Nocturne, though, a great flick. Will not hit the second, but Kai and NTS are striking back. It's down to Sapphire and Exhalation, but Kai has one more from the fountains. Sapphire will trade. Nocturne will not be connecting the shots, but NTS comes in, the savior from CT spawn. And it will be the round won by Violent Roses. It was not a pretty round, but it does go their way in the end. But I want to see some aggression from them, some information. An alt mid peek with a flash can do so much.
They got extremely lucky here that Able did not go into a full-on execute with Molly Slash and Smokes, because they pretty much gave Violent Roses the re-peeks and whatnot. Like Nocturne had free kills in which she was able to swing, or they were able to swing back and forth. But if Abel here goes into a full execute and utilize all their mollies and whatnot, that would have been a completely different story for this round.
Oh, indeed. But now look at all this Hall's control from Abel yet
Yes.
again. And Bouchard has the hero AK. There's no information. There's no control. Andrea's going to drop off early as well. This could put her in a very rough spot.
Oh.
She's blind as a bat, and down she goes. Durafle's being forced back on the site. Somehow finds 3 on the fadeaway. Looking for more in towards pit. We might see another ace here. Plus NTS is stealing kills. And that's a great flick onto Bouchard. And the final spray onto Slugmart. But even then, NTS with 3 points of health. Durafle, not so sure how she was able to get those 3 kills on the fall back towards the A site. But Violent Roses, at the very end, will be able to escape with that round.
Finally,
But their lack of information does cost them again.
finally able to bank up a little bit of money, though, with only losing 1 person here onto Andrea. And I think that Andrea got a little bit scared because she expected that rush alls. She kind of put herself in a rough position to get flashed. I think she would have been more successful if she had stayed on balcony. But here we are again, Violent Roses giving away Banana, not really contesting it. I'm not quite sure how Slugmart lost half of its HP. That retake here from Kai, commenting for the first time. I think it's something aggressive happening for Violent Roses.
Indeed.
But losing the trade, because I think that 4v4 is in favor of T's.
I'm of the same mind there. I think that 4v4 scenario, I think that once you bring it back to anything less than a 5v5, it usually favors the T side because the defense is so spread out. Durafle has to go aggressive. The flashbang is there, and actually a double down from Durafle. Andrea will strike for 1 more, and she'll double down as well. Bouchard and Slugmart falling to her, but another costly round for the Violent Roses squad. They do have some money built up now, but that's a gun round that goes without a plan to Able Esports. They have so much map control, but they're not able to make anything with it. And I guess Violent Rose's game plan is, well, if we're not going for peaks and picks, they can't pick us off one by one.
Yeah, so far that passive setup is working wonders for Violent Roses, as their individual skills and it seemed like their cohesion and trade is on top of what Able is able to give us in this server right now.
That's 2 picks again going the way of Violent Roses as they have a 5v3 advantage here. King's trying to equalize things, but Durafle from Porch send her right back down. NTS will strike for another kill, and Bouchard left alone as a P250 does not have the bomb. In fact, that's under the firm control of the Violent Roses. And Nocturne has Banana control on lock as well in case there was a chance for a flank. The op is holding it down, and Durafle, she'll get herself the 3K in this round as Violent Roses will grab a 7th on the board. And I actually want to see how many they've won in a row. I feel it's somewhere around 4 in a row, if not more.
First timeout of this game for Able Eastford. I think this is a great timeout. Whoever called it, props to you. And as you mentioned, I would like to see that as well. So if we can get a scoreboard of the timeline, that would be great. While we are into this timeout. But what I wanted to come to is Durafle has been doing a lot of work, and as you can see, yep, 5 rounds in a row. Thank you, fellow observer, from Violent Roses, whose momentum switch has been huge in that second part of this first half. But yeah,
it really has.
Durafle has been doing great into these last couple rounds, getting double kills, and B has been on lock as well from Kai and Nocturne. So really at the moment, Able Esports has no answer to Violent's default kind of positioning, super passive. They're not giving away any picks, and Able is not really able to go into these executes at both A and B.
Yeah, and I think that Able really could be able to exploit that early banana control that they're being gifted by using some utility early on. They're going to try for it now, but the counter utility is there from Violent Roses. But once it fades away, Violent Roses essentially give up all control of Banana, and Durafle's just been found inside Boiler. She goes more aggressive every single round, it seems. And this time she finally pays for her transgression as Sapphire will capitalize with the opening pick. The first time that Able Esports have had the opening pick in a few rounds now. Let's see if they can work towards it. Nocturne is not deterred, though. They are still aggressive out towards the corner, and fadeaway at the perfect time right there. Narrowly missing out on being shot.
Yeah, Giraffe Lave seems like she heard me give her props. And then she was overconfident, but a great flash here coming from Nocturne for Andrea. And that Kai, where is that happening? I think it's flank. Kai flanking in T-Ramp, getting the triple kill, coming in big for Violet Roses, leaving Bouchard in a 1v3 situation. Getting the first pick, but she does not expect Nocturne to still be in pit. Wow! Kai! The instinct to push that banana. As we were talking about how passive everywhere on the map Violet Roses was playing, they're starting to get more comfortable, and Kai on the big flank in the middle of the round getting a triple.
It's a massive play. It's something that Violent Roses have been needing, is capitalizing on that aggression. This time, though, it's a flash chain out towards Banana, and Nocturne gets caught on the corner. Blind and unable to make their way back through towards the safety of the B side. Exhalation will pick up the op and is actually continuing to entry in. Sapphire goes first. It's Kai to strike for one. Damage dumps. NTS with two, including one of the flames. Exhalation, though, shotgun op will get one more. Looking for another, but it's Bouchard to actually take advantage. Andrea's Kai will eliminate one of the side on Bouchard, and a 1v3 again will actually win it this time, as she flicks around and eliminates Giraffe for the last kill, and it brings Able Esports back to a 5th round and gives them some momentum before the end of this half. But what an individual effort from Bouchard to bring things back to Able Esports' favor.
Wow, what a roller coaster of a rush. Every time in this round, I thought it was going for the T's. It went back to the CTs and back and forth. And Bouchard with that end multi-kills, winning the round for Able. Coming in big. I really thought it was a done deal for Violet Roses. But teams and players keep proving me wrong.
That's just the caster life. Teams
Caster
and players love to just do the exact opposite.
Yep.
You say that they're going to get a 3K, no, they'll get nothing.
Except when I call the Ace for Rain.
Yes.
We're connected spiritually, and then she gives it to me.
Bouchard, another opening pick, though this time continuing her tear, and Sapphire will capitalize into NTS, who's unable to find anything at all. Andrea stranded, marooned alone on the A site, stuck in mini pit. Sapphire will go first. She's the low HP player, but Slugmart is right there for the trade. Damage has been dealt, but it's a 2-player retake, and I think Violent Roses are making the right call here, instantly going for this save. It's not a very winnable round for them at all. They don't know that the damage has been dealt to Bouchard and Slugmart. That 25 and 35 HP is all unconfirmed damage.
Finally, this is what I expected Violet Roses to do early in the AF. But this time it's happening a little bit later than I wish. But Violet Roses is going to give up this round to Able. And correct me if I'm wrong, last time we checked the timeline, we jinxed Violet Roses because Able won every single round after this pause.
Indeed, they did. And, well, they'll lose Bouchard at the very least, although economy is not really a factor when you're up against round number 15. But still, Able Esports broke that streak off of the back of that timeout, and that's why timeouts are so useful. And it always pains me in the North American scene in general, where teams don't use their timeouts.
I know! This is so frustrating. This is my pet peeves. You can see a whole half with no timeouts, and it's, for me, is unacceptable. It's the only thing you can control when you time out.
Yeah.
And we are... No, go ahead.
It's so critical to momentum swings, too.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see the stats on timeout round win one against in most matches, because I would like to think that usually they're extremely positive for the team that timed out. And as you mentioned, we're now in the round number 15. Lots of utilities still in the hands of CPs here, as Able is trying to make their way towards Banana, but this is exactly the kind of play I mentioned earlier. I'm not a fan of over peaking that Banana and giving away free kills for very little win for Able Esports.
Yeah, it's a really high risk, low reward scenario.
Exactly.
And, well, actually, with Bouchard getting that second kill, it could not be that big of a factor here. It's a 3v3 now with Bouchard in the back lines in towards CT. Looks to me like they're going to rotate back to B, but Nocturne has the op. There's no Molotov to flush Nocturne out of the new box area either. And in fact, Nocturne has a molly to throw of their own to stall this push. Bouchard, though, can lock these rotations through, but Andrea finds it. That's the whole jig, and Nocturne with the first. It's all down to Sapphire in a 1v3 this time, but there's not a lot of time on the clock, and these two rotations in through CT are coming in fast and furious. The Molotov will grill her out of position, and Sapphire falls to Giraffely here. Violent Roses will capitalize on it. Bouchard's effort was not enough, and it will be the 9-6 half here. But still, 6 rounds of the T side should be more than enough for Able to be able to pitch themselves a fine comeback.
Yeah, Bouchard's gonna bite herself after she watches back that replay, because she had the perfect opportunity to win there, and she just had to be in a slightly better position to cut the rotate off and allow her teammates to fight Nocturne at 2v1, but unfortunately she will not be successful, and we're going to be starting half number 2 with a full-on rush B from Violet Rosen facing a solo Exiliation in the site, utilizing her stuff here, Smolly and Flash, to try to win some time for the rotate. But we're going to see a free bomb site and a free kill here from Andrea. I think Exiliation kind of overstating her welcome at that black hole.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think Exhalation was expecting to push the Molotov, but it still came through. Sapphire, though, was bringing it back. It's all down to Giraffely in dark. Has to peek out for one. Bouchard will fall, though. That's the kit down on site, but Sapphire is so low on health. 2 body shots will finish the job, but it doesn't matter if Sapphire is going to hit the head. The bit of bad manners spray comes in at the end as well. The defuse comes in. But the thing is, Able Esports might have been able to win the round, but that's just the battle. The real war is yet to come. It's going to be the full force buy round from Violent Roses here. They can get Galils on every single player.
Huge round here by Sapphire when it came down to winning that retake or kills at Banana, where most of Violent Roses was located at, were crucial. 4K into this pistol. She's now number 2 on the scoreboard for Able Esports, right behind Bouchard, trailing her all the way at the top of Able's scoreboard.
No force buy from Violent Roses. I'm a little surprised. Normally you see the team get the plum plant with the 4 kills and they just go straight for the rifles.
I get to laugh at you because I get silly mistakes like that when I speak and I pronounce stuff almost every 2 words with my Frenchy accent. So it makes me very happy to see that I'm not alone.
Yeah, I just think too fast in my mouth sometimes and I mix up words, but Slugmart and Kimmy do not mix up anything out towards Banana. 3 kills back and forth. Andrea's on 1 point of health here. And while it might have been a pistol round with no real armor behind it for Violent Roses, it's still not a result they necessarily would like. They only get 1 kill, but I thought that was a nade for a second there. That was a nade that takes out the player on the box. That's Slugmart, but Bouchard gonna mop things up from CT spawn, and Able Esports draw to within 1 round. But here's gonna be the AKs, the utility for Violent Roses. And Able's buy, it's not the strongest.
It's not the strongest. 2 Fannies, 2 SMGs, only 1 M4 in the ends of Sapphire. Let's see what they're going to decide to do with it. It looks like they're going to go into a push Banana and team in, an aggression coming from Able. And if Violent Roses was ready for it, they gave it with completely T-Con here and are fighting for the retake. And no one is there to support Bouchard. I'm not quite sure what happened here. She was left alone by her team, and Kai's able to kill her in the butt towards T-Con. I mean.
And now it's just an easy cleanup for Violent Roses. They have only 1 player left to deal with. That is Sapphire. That's a fine frag onto Andrea, but still, she's stuck without any information of where she needs to go, surrounded on all sides by potential enemies. The double Molotov should clue her into the fact that they are mostly towards the A site, and she will take that engagement. She's still going to get harassed on her way back down the ramp and towards T-spawn. That nade might do some damage. In fact, it does a grand total of 3. But Nocturne will follow the trajectory and spray on down. Violent Roses win their gun round, but actually, I'm wondering what Able are going to do here. only Kimmy doesn't have money. They're going to go straight for this buy. I feel like a timeout would be useful here to figure out really if you want to go for this round. No kits. Kimmy on a dig, but they're risking it all here.
Yeah, Able Esport, I thought I had the right play with the push, but unfortunately the execute is a little bit messy, especially after no one was there to be found. And CTs were not able to play together and have great teamwork here. And I think NTS is expecting a save round because they took that banana pretty fast, pretty deep. Not quite
without utility.
Yeah, not quite sure they expect Able here to be on a full buy here. Ooh, risking it all with that really random push. While Kimmy gets the double and Slugmark completes. Wow, that is an unexpected turn of event, and this is now a 3 versus 2. Andrea and Nocturne rushing towards A. They probably know A is weak. Only one player from Able in the site. This is all coming down in the end of Sapphire to at least get one kill, and she's going to be able to connect with the first, but Nocturne is going to trade, plant the bomb. Oh, fake it here. Try to go for a 1 versus 1 before planning. And we're going to see a retake here from Able Esports.
That native did more damage would be so critical here, but Nocturne might be able to isolate these duels, but no, they push together. Even if Slugmart fell, the trade was there from Kimmy. It will be a round secured from Able. They did risk a lot in that round, but it was worth it in the end. I thought that aggression out A-Halls might have just been the thing that ended it, but that double from Kimmy.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the aggression also at the same time as the aggression banana, but one of them came out on top. Kimmy with the double. I'm not sure if she did a collat or she shot twice, but she got
I think it was because there was the wallbang icon.
Really fast. Oh, wow. Okay. That's amazing. And then we're going to see our second time out of this game as Violent Roses is in dire need of one after losing at that round to Able. And if we look at the ADR, it's pretty even across the map, except for Exhaliation, who's running a little bit behind here for Able. But the rest of all 9 players are pretty even across the board. And we have an almost even score as well with a 10-9 here in the server. So it's consistent from the scoreboard to the actual score in the game. And on ESEA, usually when you watch these matches, the utility damage is usually broken and efficiency as well onto F number 2. So I'm hesitant to say that this is correct here. But a lot of damage from NTSCS utility here.
Actually, if I'm remembering this correctly, these are being played on Challenger mode, so we are seeing the full combined stats.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said like on ESG it's not working, so I don't know if on Challenger mode it's working or not. But yeah.
I think it does. It's looking like it does because I'm not seeing the stat like the kills reset at half either. But this is a mop up here for Able. They shut down this buy from Violent Roses, and now Able, not only do they get one score better than they had in their game last week against Violent Roses, but they've just put themselves in a chance to get a lead here. Violent Roses are back on the pistols, and Able have a chance here to be able to pull the revenge victory off again. We just saw revenge in our other semifinal. We could see double revenge here, and a completely new group of finalists.
Yeah, and Bouchard looked like she was on the easiest round of her life, getting 4K last round versus Violent Roses. Really standing at the top of this game, doing everything she can to get that win versus Able. And Sapphire here is going to be in a crossfire situation with Exhaliation, getting a double kill to close this round in favor of Able. 11-10 for Able Esports, who are now in the lead. Is it the first time of this game they're in the lead?
I believe they might have had a lead in the early going when it came to the pistol, but after that, I think it was a 5-2 for Able, then 9-6, and now 11-10.
All right, so second time of this game that we see Able Esports in the lead. But we have a brand new round, and it's going pretty aggressive here for Violent Roses into all, taking control of that area, or trying to at least, while Sapphire tries to do their job and push them back.
I will say I love this CT half from Able. They're getting their map control where they need it. They're using the utility to take the aggressive peaks. I mean, we already have one up towards logs. That Slugmart will fall away eventually. But even then, that fade away is backed by utilities. So when Able go for these aggressive peaks for the info plays, they are using their utility to make sure they're not just going and throwing away their lives. But now that early information there was nobody Banana could be the false positive and send Violent Roses towards a lesser defended B site. Although I think they are just going to regroup and go for a full-on mid-exec as it seems right now. But no, they might just regroup and head towards B. Indeed they will. The peak comes in, but that's a beautiful shot from Andrea. Catches Slugmart in the air, a bit of skeet shooting coming through. A Molotov will force these T's away, but the time is very low. They might have to go through this, and indeed they are. They're pushing on in. And the smoke goes down as well. The plant might come in. Kimmy spamming it, but she's not doing the damage she needs. It does come through, and it's a 5v4 hold for Violent Roses here. They have no utility for it, and there's 2 flashbangs for Able, not to mention all 4 players are already here.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5 versus 4 retake here for Able. Not a lot of utility. 2 flashes in, so who's going to come on top of these exchanges? Able doing a lot of damage. The bomb has been ticked on a fake though, but Andrea not able to connect with the kills. How did Able win this round? I have no idea how this happened.
I don't either. The flashbangs didn't even seem to rain through. I think it might have been used on the kill towards Banana, but even then, I thought it was going to be a round for Violent Roses. It was a 5-player hold on the B site. The post plant looked perfect, but the kills just went the way of Able Esports on the retake. And they will grow their lead here. The plant means that Violent Roses can have another buy. But Able Esports, they're going for the double off now, and Slugmart's taking it down towards Banana. The Flames will actually stall Slugmart out, and Andrea will get the trade. The trades do tend to favor the T's, and the rotations are already coming in. Aggression from Kimmy, though, 1 kill, not the second, and we're going to have another 3v3 retake this time in towards the B site. A deep Molotov will keep Bouchard at bay, and it's going to be another group up towards CT spawn. But Nocturne's playing a more aggressive angle here and could shut this all down before it starts. 1 kill, quick onto Bouchard, and she'll fall away now and wait. NTS eliminates Sapphire, and it's all down to Exhalation. Huge chance to step up here, and that's a great start.
1v2 now as she tries to no-scope the NTS, and she is able to do a quick one. We know she knows where the last player is. She just needs to hit that shine with her kit in hand. She is going to win the round for Able Esports in a 1 versus 3 fashion up in. And what a round. Once again, Violent Roses not able to close these B-Old. Yes, timeout. Yes, we need to talk about this, or at least take a breather, because I was about to say what an amazing round from Violent Roses. They did everything right up until that 1 versus 3. 1 versus 3. Sorry. The call was perfect. That rush B was perfect. The trades were perfect. The positions, even from Nocturne, pushing to that backles in that 3v3 position was also, I think, the right timing, the right call. And then everything fell apart.
It did indeed, but Exhalation had a phenomenal job with the op. The first shot was good, the second shot was amazing, and the third shot was just prediction. Still had a Molotov in hand too, so Exhalation in theory could have just forced that final player in the cubby out into the open and made the job easier, but
time
no.
was ticking. Time was ticking. What a great round. And, you know, she was lagging a little bit behind onto the damage done throughout this match. But then she wins that 1 versus 3, keeping the momentum alive for Able Esports, forcing Violent Roses to go into a second timeout in the second half. And let's see what they're going to do against that double op setup that Able Esports have been extremely successful on so far.
Well, it looks like a fast play towards A. Nocturne's charged up for the Molotov. Bouchard almost caught with her knife out, but no. She's able to get the M4 back in hand, and we'll go for more, but NTS will trade it out. It's going to be the full-on onslaught up the lane, one in apartments as well, but Exhalation this time, no heroics up on the short. Sapphire's turn to shine. The spray transfer was perfect. The damage onto Giraffely is huge as well. The rotations are coming in from Kimmy and Slugmart. Slugmart all the way up in brackets. There's a lot of utility, actually, for the CT side, that is, and actually a decent amount for Violent Roses too, but there's no Molotovs for the T side. There's a Molotov for Slugmart that will get used towards Pit and clear out that angle. Unfortunately, there's nobody in there, and Andrea just has a nice smoke wall to bide her time, and Giraffely up on the balcony is not over-aggressing, is not over-peeking. This is perfectly played. Kimmy, though, the great prediction spray, and Kimmy will finish it off as Giraffely has to peek now. It was not planted for her, as it is down towards back sight. And it's another retake victory from Able Esports. And while Able Esports are more than able to make these retakes happen, Violent Roses are failing in the post plants.
Nothing is working out for Violent Roses post plant wise. The trades are not happening. The crossfire are inexistent. And this is back-to-back rounds where they do everything right, from the call to the mid-round execution, the rushes, the trades, except that post plant, where things just fall apart for Violent Roses. Not like the luck is definitely not on their side when it comes to post plant.
Luck, and then it's just step up individually from Able. It was Exhalation 2 rounds ago. It was Kimmy in the last round. And well, now it's going to be a full-on B onslaught from Violent Roses. They're going to rush B here. Try the tried and true tactic that we all know and love in Kai. The wide swing, headshot to the coffins out of Kimmy. It's going to mean that Slugmart, no, that aggression, it's dealt with too. There was a gap in the smoke. That would have been a huge chance, but Andrea will answer back, holding the flank, and this should be the first round in quite some time that Violent Roses are able to put back up on the board. In fact, I think it's the first since the pistol round, actually. And it's going to be the save from Bouchard and Sapphire. It has to.
Observer, I summoned the tab here so we can see the timeline to confirm what was just said by Bugs. But I would have gone for the save at that 3 versus 5. Unfortunately, one of the Able Esports player was also going down, because look at the money here. They're not doing that great. They're winning back-to-back rounds, but we are not seeing a bank return. No investment has been done much on Able. In here, we're going to see another full buy, but if we lose that round, we're going to have to go on a save here. Even though we're so close to the finish line to win this match, this rematch versus Violent Roses, it is not over. They can still come back into this game, and this was another great execute from them, where this one time they were able to get the post plant done and secure the win.
That's a great boost in Boiler, but it only leads to one. Bouchard gets traded out by NTS. Sapphire has to fall away and watch her apartment's balcony on the exit as well. But still, 4v4 continues to favor the T side here, as the splashbang will actually lead to a trade again. But it's not a trade in the favor of Able. It's still going the way of Violent Roses, but these site holds one towards Moto 1, and Pit could work out huge if Sapphire stays alive a little bit longer. Exhalation has to fall away and fade away. The shot on the falling player out of balcony does not connect, and that smoke will keep the CTs at bay through Moto. It's going to be a brackets rotation for Able, it seems. But even then, I think that a save call might be in due order here from Able, as they don't really have a lot of chances to win this round here, especially now that Nocturne's eliminated Kimmy. Exhalation has no other option but to save the op. Violent Roses, their thorns are starting to bite and cut.
And this is where, if we would have saved these guns a little bit more often, we would have been able to potentially buy next. And right now we're going to be on a save except Exhalation. But I need to give props to Violent Roses. Their mid-round and their teamwork, their trades is pretty impeccable on their T side. And I don't know how solid of a team it is. I don't know if they practice together outside of these events. We've seen them with the same roster back-to-back here, but I do like to see the way they capitalize on the kill and the way they're able to crush a site as soon as they get that kill. honestly, Able is not able to do anything once they decide to turn on that machine to a bomb site. It's really in their post plan that they're losing these rounds, and comes with experience, communication, and Endra here getting the double. I would love to see if it was a collapse, because that was pretty impressive. Those shots were clean. The op is dropped. Was the op banana? Did Exhalation go for a pick early? Is that what happened? And then a stack at A?
I'm not sure. Exhalation could have gone for that play out. No, it was the USP, so I think Exhalation had to be towards banana. Because that was USPs that Andrea killed out towards top middle. And those are just two crisp headshots. So
yeah, it's too bad for Able. They were not able to recycle that op because it was lost so far. Then
yeah,
and now they're not able to save it into next round. If you look at the money, they won't be able to afford an op. So that could be a crucial mistake here for Able.
Yeah, because they're on. This is going to be third round loss. That's 2,400 in the bank.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. Someone could invest on an op, but
they can't. They can't even go glass cannon.
Nope. So
well, actually, no. Kimmy can with that kill.
She can now, but she's gonna be glass cannon, and I would be surprised, especially as an anchor towards B. Looks like she's gonna invest into utilities, which is probably the right place. So Able with no op coming into this round. Number 28. We are close to another overtime game. And I say another as if we went into overtime with Dig and Silhouette, but they were close games as well.
Dude, that's what you love to see too. You love to see this level of competition come down to the wire. And you love to see these teams adapting and being able to make these comebacks happen and not allowing the other teams to just steamroll over them with that momentum behind. But Violent Roses, their mid-round has to be impeccable again, or else they put Able Esports on another eco with a chance to grab 15, which could mean match point for Violent Roses before they face another gun round. They still have to win this round first.
What a scary station to be in. We know what's going on. We know there's 4 players behind that pallet. But Kimmy in a station where she could get 0 kills, and this is unfortunately what happens as NTS gets the double, and this is gonna be another steamroll situation into the block pad, and Endra is here to cut the rotates, getting 1 kill. And I don't think we're gonna go for this round here, as Violent Roses able to tie this game. It's 14-14. It's a brand new game.
Oh, it is indeed, and I'm honestly surprised Sapphire went back for that refrag too. That could have been so dangerous if she fell to Andrea. That could have basically just ended any chance of survival here. But now it's going to be max loss for the Able Esports side. Well, I guess they have to win. They have to lose one more, so we'll be on 2,900 in the bank. It's not going to be enough for a buy, and I don't even think Bashard and Sapphire will drop anything over.
It's the worst case scenario here for Able Esports. They have 2 guns coming in the next round, but they are not in a position to invest a lot of money into next round. We might see some mags and some alls control. That's what I would do. I would go for the buy here.
Don't want to play for a tie?
I'm never a tie player. I'm not a fan of playing for that tie. I'd rather go for these buys. But then again, who knows? This is really just a preference, and in my career, it's been more successful to aim for the win. But Able is going for the tie. Who knows? Maybe investing really poorly or not a lot into this round will pay off. Hopefully Sapphire and Shark can get some entry frags here. It was so close for Sapphire to get that kill through the smoke. She had no idea. She just shot the hair literally next to the face of one of the Violent Roses player. And we're gonna see our first kill in this round on a Nocturne, killing Exhalation towards Boiler.
It's a great start for Violent Roses to try and put a stranglehold on this game, although Able will be able to have another buy in this next round. They will be able to double op too. But it just seems that Violent Roses have found their streak. They found their momentum and their form in the later portions of this half on their T side. It took them a little bit to solve the puzzle of the defense, but now they've unlocked it. Molotov towards new box is perfect. Forces Slugmart in, but they're not going to clear second oranges. Kimmy has a chance for 2, but Kai is blind, but it does not matter. The kill comes in. It is going to be with Shard and Sapphire again, this time in a 2v4. And Nocturne will not relinquish the angle towards New Box, but Shard falls. And Sapphire, at this point, might just be playing for exits here in towards Church.
Wow, Kimi almost turned this round around with that double kill. Kai blind getting the kill. I think she was able to aim towards Kimi before getting blind. Or they were able to aim towards Kimi before being blind. And Sapphire is going to try to at least get an exit kill onto Violet Roses, but it doesn't really matter at this point. I would save that armor and AK because Violet Roses is rich, so these exit kills really don't matter. And we are back against the wall, round number 30 out of 30 in the second semifinals of week number 2 Supergirl Gamer Pro CSGO event. Friday night event. Excited to be here with my new friend Boggs as we work on our chemistry.
I'm having a blast, though. I don't know about you, but we've had 2 back-to-back games that have been down to the wire and absolute nail-biters. And we've seen some great individual plays throughout the whole thing, so this has been a fantastic first cast.
Fantastic game, as well as Kimi is able to get a kill onto... Not a kill, I'm sorry, on an op in her ends, facing the Nocturne Opper on Violet Roses. This 5v5 still happening. Both teams don't want to be the first team to make the mistake into this crucial round. As we see a little bit of a fake here towards B. Lots of utilities being used here by Abel, but no one is going to be there to force entry that bomb site. It's really just slightly giving information and killing some friends. That's Sapphire. I thought was gonna get the double kills are being exchanged, and bomb is gonna get planted onto this A bomb site. Let's see if they can hold that bomb site once and for all to win this match.
Andrea's in the pit. Nocturne is in apartments with the ops. That's actually a really good position considering the bomb is planted straight for that apartment's angle. Exhalation and Kimi, they're having to work their way on through, but they only have a flash for utility here. Granted, there's nothing left besides that one flash that was already used for Violet Roses. It's all going to come down to the gun duels now. The Crossfire backside and pit is here, and it's Nocturne and Andrea, the pit player and the backside, or the apartments player, to get those 2 kills. And it is going to be the 16-14 win for Violet Roses. They will not relinquish their charge against Able Esports, and they will not let revenge get the better of them.
We almost had a back-to-back revenge win from Silhouette and Able, but this time Able falling short in their, I want to say, storyline to give us a great Cinderella story for this week number 2, leaving Violet to head towards the final against Silhouette. So we say goodbye to Able, but what a amazing performance from both teams. Able doing so much work compared to last week. Really impressed with their improvements. But unfortunately, too little too late as Violet is able to do the comeback. I think at some point it was 14-11, right, Bugs?
I believe it was 14-11, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was the comeback.
Very crucial. Lots of things to watch back for Able. Lots of things to learn into this game to be able to close it next time. But we are going to go ahead and leave you to a short commercial break as we get ready for the final between Silhouette and Violet Roses.
Thought I'd feel this way.
No, don't hold on to me.
It's all worth it.
Ladies, Chris.
I hear that's really bad for you.
What? No, this is about finding true love.
No, I mean the screen.
Oh, no, we're all good there. These Zenny lenses, they block the blue light.
I mean, that's still really bad for you.
This is amazing. Please go away.
Chelsea.
Oh, no, don't pick her. Oh.
So I'm gonna hold on promoting you this quarter. Cool?
Drop the taco. Get in the car. Does this Sentra feel like a compromise to you?
Wait, what?
The handling, it's good, right? No compromise there.
Nope.
Watch this.
Breathe.
Rear automatic braking.
So if this Nissan Sentra isn't gonna compromise, why should you? You're right.
Atta girl.
The all-new Nissan Sentra with more standard safety features than any other car in its class.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or the aircraft. It's something more. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside each and every Marine that answers a nation's call. Battles won.
We're back here, Bugs and I, Miss Harvey. To recap a little bit what happened, everything is going so fast into this event as matches are coming back to back. I do believe we have a bracket though, if we can get to it real quick and recap what happened towards our storyline. We started with I think it was Able Esports versus Russian female V2, and we saw Able come out on top. The rest of the matches were being played behind the scene. Violent Roses coming out on top of Chewbacca and Silhouette winning versus Star Shines. They getting a bye, but it's when it came down to the semifinals where we had pretty crucial fights, Boggs.
Yes, we did. We had two potential revenge matches, same exact matchups as we did last week, just in different rounds. I guess for Silhouette and Dig, it was the same round, but it was on train for those two, and it was a very close round, a very close match, but Silhouette ended up coming out on top. I believe it was 16-12 there. And then we just finished an absolute barn burner of a series between Able Esports and Violent Roses, where Violent Roses won 6 rounds straight from down 14-10 to take that one and not let the revenge dish get served just yet for Able. As Violent Roses booked themselves their second finals in as many weeks.
I'm a fan of all your little analogy, real life stuff. And Able, we say goodbye to Able, but they are not leaving empty-handed as they win 50 points this week by finishing in the top 4. Last week, they got 25 points. So it will bring them to 75 points after week number 2. The good news here for Violent Roses is that they secure another 75 points. We were talking about how Silhouette could make it. Oh no, we were talking about how Violent Roses earlier, if they made it to this semifinal, would tie up Dig no matter what happened in this final, I believe. So if I'm doing my math correctly here, am I doing my math correctly?
Yes, you are. You're not doing it twice. You're not doing a 3100 minus 2900 equals 250.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Violet Roses just tied Dig in the final score of after week 2 in points. So they have secured 150 total. Today, 75 minimum for whoever finishes second between Silhouette and Violet Roses. But the goal is to aim for 100. And we already have our veto being done in the final map of tonight, because this final is a BO1 is going to be on Mirage. First time of the day on Mirage.
Indeed it is, and that's a very, very puggy map, so I'm actually kind of surprised to see Violent Roses let that through. I believe Violent Roses is a team that plays in either Open or IM.
Oh, I love that.
I know they do. I know at least some of their players were a core last season, if I'm remembering things correctly.
Okay, so it shows in their gameplay, especially shows in their T side. Their chemistry is very, very pushing forward whenever they get a kill. They have the right instinct as a team, and I'm loving and enjoying seeing them into these matchups. Not gonna lie, it's only week 2, and it's been a great so far. And before we jump into the server and talk about this matchup, the Violent Rose versus Silhouette matchup, I really want to take a minute to thank Thanks, everyone, especially our sponsor, because sometimes when the match ends really quick, you guys leave without hearing about our amazing support. So I want to make sure to mention a little bit of quick notes about everyone. We have Nissan. I love saying Nissan. How do you pronounce Nissan?
Nissan.
Nissan. Okay, so I need to pronounce that N and not do it the French way. We also have U.S. Air Force as well as the U.S. Marines. So we're extremely happy to have them join our cast. Zenny, are you a fan? You wear glasses.
I do, yes.
I see. Have you ever bought your glasses online?
I actually haven't. I usually go in person, but I heard that Zenny has over 3,000 frames available.
Oh, yes. And I've bought frames online before. And quite frankly, it is much easier than you think. So give it a shot. At least go check out Zenny website if you want to buy some glasses as well as, GameStop. Do you have another cool fact about our last sponsor, GameStop?
Well, I don't necessarily have a cool fact about GameStop aside from the fact that that's usually where I get all my console games because I like having a disc. I'm one of those weird people who doesn't like to digitally download.
Look,
I like discs.
I'm gonna take this. Look, I am like you. I cannot have digital. I am a big fan of the physical copy, and they are the largest video game retailer in the world. So we're happy to have them support us. And once again, before we tune in, before we jump to the game, if this is the first time you tuning, we're gonna do a little recap of the format here because we are not alone doing events. Today is Counter-Strike, but tomorrow is gonna be Pop Quiz Box.
It's gonna be League of Legends.
And Sunday,
we're gonna have some Hearthstone too.
Yes, you've been taking notes. I like it. You came in ready. So, as you may or may not know, Supergirl A Gamer Pro is at its 2017, so that would be the fourth year. Yes, that would be the fourth year of the Supergirl Gamer Pro event. But this is the first time where we have online qualifiers to make it to the final, which is happening at the Supergirl event, the Surf Pro event in San Diego in October. We're extremely excited because it's 9 weeks of online qualifier. Each week is completely unique where you get points to make it to the leaderboard, and whoever makes it to the top 4 will make it to
that final in San Diego on the beach at Supergirl Surf Pro. It's a great time out there if you haven't been there already. And any team that qualifies for it will have a phenomenal weekend.
Yes, I like how I give you a little bit of a pop quiz and you're always ready. You're listening. You're focused. We have a couple of really good storylines, but we are looking forward to having more women enter the tournament. I think we have potentially 8 teams per week, but so far we're always had potentially room for more. So make sure to register, make sure to be there and play with us, because it doesn't matter if you missed the first 2 weeks, you're welcome to join us. And we had a lady that played in both the League of Legends and the Counter-Strike tournament. So who knows, you could be going to the main event in one of these games. Even if you're not that solid at it, just give it a shot. Who knows? Do you play any other game than CSGO?
I play Valorant, but mainly my first love in video games is Counter-Strike. So that's where I put most of my time.
Yeah, I have played a little bit of Hearthstone and a little bit of League, but never enough to want to claim that I could be a Supergirl Gamer Pro winner. Hearthstone is pretty fun though, but
it is.
I lost all the meta, so I don't have any cards anymore, so could not play in the tournament. But we welcome you guys to join. I think there was week 1 of Hearthstone here only had 9 players in, so top 10 makes some points. I'm just making sure that what I'm saying is not stupid. Top 16 in Hearthstone makes some points, so still more time for you guys to register as the next 2 tournaments are coming up in the next 2 weeks. Next week, is a special event for Counter-Strike ladies in North America. It's going to be at the same time as the DreamHack Showdown. So we have a pretty big open week for CS teams to compete and potentially get a lot of points.
Oh yeah, I mean, we see Dignitas bowing out in the semifinals too. So they're only going to have 150 points. You win or get second place, and you are within 75 points to 50 points of a team that is one of the best female teams in the world, let alone North America. And there's still going to be 7 more weeks of competition. So you throw your hat in the ring now, you still have that chance to be able to make that top 4 and make it to the finals at Supergirl Surf Pro. And you never know what can happen. There's the worst thing that can happen is that you don't try. The best thing happens, you play, you're going to learn something regardless.
You play hockey.
And that's the best thing too.
What is the Wayne Gretzky quote? You probably know it.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There it is. This is some hockey fan at heart. You miss 100% of the shot you don't take. Quote Wayne Gretzky. Quote one of the best player of all time in hockey. But we're not going to debate that today. Instead, we're going to debate who's going to win the final. Let's go ahead and switch to predictions. Silhouette versus Violent Roses. This is the first time they play versus each other because Silhouette fortunately had to face Dig last week and couldn't make it to the final. What is your prediction?
Well, honestly, I think a puggy map style like Mirage kind of favors Silhouette, especially since they have a couple stand-ins here. It's going to enable them to be a little more explosive, and they're not going to have to rely on team cohesion as much. Mirage is kind of a great equalizer map in that sense, where you're going to get teams that don't necessarily have the best structures on more set maps like the Nukes and the Overpasses of the world, but everyone knows how to play Mirage. FNS told me his teams never practiced Mirage because everyone knows how to play it anyways.
He told you that once?
Yep.
No way. This is a hard one to believe. I believe he told you that, but it's a hard one to believe that he's never practiced Mirage in his life. But I do agree with the fact that this is a dangerous map to pick versus players like today. Like, let's see, Android and Zelzis. We're looking fine on Train. There's a couple of crucial rounds that to me were turning points into that matchup, even though everyone pulled their weight on Silhouette. Android had a really big triple kill round earlier today that really killed the momentum for Dig and was really the nail in the coffin for Silhouette to get that win. So I'm scared for Violent Roses, but at the same time, they showed me I'm so impressed with them. Back-to-back finals into the Supergirl event. Lots of great teamwork. You say that they play together in ESC. At least they have a core 3 that I've been playing on ESCA as well during the season. So I'm liking some Violent Roses. I like their team name too, you know. Violet roses are exactly like cactuses. You know, you try to take a rose and you get bit off by the rose and they start bleeding. So it does feel like a great Counter-Strike team name. And I'm looking forward to seeing their progression throughout the whole tournament.
It's definitely a really creative name, and I have to give them props for their naming scheme too. Because then you get the other teams that normally just come in with some random generic name like Team something or other. But no, I mean, you look down the team names for all of these. Everyone's come up with some pretty cool names.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even Silhouette's a cool one. Chewbacca, it's like a reference, I'm assuming, between Chewbacca and like a normal like, kitty cat. That's my guess anyways.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a fan of the Silhouette branding too. I really like their name as well. You're right. A lot of the teams here are coming in with great names, great personalities from these players. You're seeing new faces too, faces that are coming back with new faces. And I do strongly believe this is why the Supergirl Gamer Pro events is happening. The goal is to do these incubators for women to compete, women to feel safe. But also sometimes it's hard to find a 5 women team to able to compete. So we, as you may or may not have seen in this event, there are some males playing in it as well, because it's not restricted to 5 women only. This is really an event where you need to have a majority of women involved. So for a 5-man team, it is 3 women, cis and trans required for these events. So really excited to see where this is gonna go. Especially this is the first time we're seeing something like that, at least in North America, a multi-week kind of mini event. So it's not a league, it's not like a one tournament thing. It's really like a something to build the community on and grow it together, seeing these faces and make it happen in 3 different games.
Yeah, I mean, I'd kind of liken it to like a weekly, where every single week, same place, same time, you have your little mini tournament, and then at the end of it, you have a culmination of all the points added up, and top 4 get their shot on LAN. And I'm sure you can attest LAN is a completely different environment than online, but boy, is LAN a fun environment.
Yeah, honestly, I quite lived for LAN most of my career. It's funny because when I started, you had one LAN a year, like one big LAN a year. And because of COVID, we're back to kind of this environment. I haven't been on LAN for so long. But yeah, we're still waiting for the players to connect, as it seems like we're taking a small break to make sure that everybody is ready. So we're gonna go to a quick commercial break, not even 2 minutes. So stay tuned because Bugs and I are gonna be there to cast the final coming up right after this.
For a long time, we had to prove ourselves. But we always knew what we were capable of. We knew when the time came, we would be ready for anything. Our numbers keep rising. And so do we. For a long time, we had to prove ourselves. But we always knew what we were capable of. We knew when the time came, we would be ready for anything. Our numbers keep rising. And so do we.
It's like they're all in game.
We are back already. These breaks are so fast. We are still waiting for the players to get ready. It looks like everyone is in the game, but we are not live just yet. We're not ready for the pistol round. There was a crucial, a pretty big fight between Abel and Violet Roses, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're just needing a little bit of breathing room to relax in between these games. Fuel up on water, please. Everyone watching at home, make sure you drink your 2 liters of water per day. But we are now ready to go into this knife round between Violet Roses and Silhouette, as NTSCS's knife image is kind of buggy on my screen.
You always gotta love those little visual glitches that can bring so much little fun and excitement, a little spice.
I wonder if it's because she had a different knife. I need to know now if the knife is different. But we are going to be live for week number 2 of Supergirl Gamer Pro finals between Silhouette and Violet Roses. My name is Miss Arby, and I'm joined with Bugs, and we're going to be your caster for this final.
And what a final it's shaped up to be as well. Violet Roses, their second time in as many weeks in the finals here at Supergirl Gamer Pro, and Silhouette, who bowed out in the semis against Dignitas, found their revenge, and met up against Violet Roses now in the final, but it's going to be Zelsis to open things off. Athena, though, is stuck between a rock and a hard place out towards Arches, has a chance for 2 on the push-up cap, but it's going to be Andrea to shut her down. Nocturne flanks as well, Naomi falls, and the B side is now open for business for the T side. Plant comes through, Lunar Cats, Zelsis, Android all coming in on the rotation. Android taps 2 heads, but Andrea has 2 of her own. It's going to be the 3K for her on the round, and the Violet Roses will push themselves to victory here. Not your typical B rush, but it did work out for them. It ended on the B site. That's a good start for the Violet Roses on T. Extremely
good start here, and that their execution on Violent Roses, they must be spending a lot of time in service because it's perfect. Their timing, their trades, everything is on point. And we're going to see another display of that as Violent Roses is rushing towards B. And this side is clear. It's as easy as that. And TCS is able to get the first kill, but everybody else was towards either mid or A. It was a gamble that did not pay off for Silhouette. And while we are going to see exit frags probably being tried from Silhouette, I have to talk about, we got a confirmation in our chat about NTSCS knife. It's the new knife. That's why the model is not displaying into a scoreboard.
Oh yeah, it's the CS Source knife.
Oh, okay, okay. That's why it's very cute. We are currently watching NTS, so this is a new knife, as you can see on their screen. Hey, there it is.
No, I didn't grow up with CS Source. I didn't grow up with 1.6. Go was my first Counter-Strike, but that knife is clean.
It's clean, but it's not one that I like because I am a Source hater.
Oh.
I'm a very Source hater. As you can see, another straight up kind of B-fake rush here by Violent Roses, running the same strat but only with 2 players, trying to get some intel. And NTSCS is probably letting our old team know that they stack B.
Yes, indeed. And there was still 3 MAC-10s left over from the previous 5 MAC-10 round for Violent Roses. They sent 2 of those as sort of human sacrifices to go and keep those rotations at the B site. But now it's gotten to a very messy situation. A potential Ninja Defuse almost just came through there. It gets shut down by Giraffing, but the kill doesn't come through. Lunar Cats falls, but it's Andrea again to double down. She's on for the ace now. And Steph, this could be huge. She hits the shot.
Hey!
What a play from Andrea. 3 kills in the pistol.
Of the night. There was only last scrim, I think we didn't see any ace.
Yeah, we saw a 4K in the last one, but we didn't see an ace.
And what a dangerous round, though. Violent Roses winning this round in a 3 versus 5. It was scary at some point. I believed in Silhouette's kind of win here, but Andrea with the ace pulling a miracle here, keeping her team ahead 3-0.
Very good nade up towards top and middle, though, from Silhouette to start things off. But Andrea, again, continuing off the ace. 6 straight kills. Nocturne to keep her away from another ace, but NCS will strike as well. Android gets caught out on the stairwell. And now it's Naomi and Athena having to rotate in from the B side. I would just save if I was them, because it's a 5-player hold for Violent Roses here. And there is no real chance of a retake here. They might have utility, but the rest of their team has no money in the bank. And it is definitely the right call to go for this save here. Save these guns, save the kit, and try and win something in the next round. But Violent Roses mix things up, go for the straight AX, and it works out perfectly.
I keep saying it, but I have to say it again. What another display of teamwork and kind of well-oiled machine by Violent Roses. We're already on the hunt here for Silhouette in this 2v2. Kind of crush towards the back wall. It's actually going to be pretty difficult for Athena and Emily to keep these guns in. Athena is going to be the only one to fall down, so I'll take this as a win for Silhouette because I expected both players to come down, but that quick European end of the round, as soon as the bomb exploded, Violent Roses was not able to get that kill.
Indeed, and that really hurts Silhouette in this round too. They still take the 1 rifle into this one, but they will not have anything else. But Android will strike with a deagle. Zeus with the CZ will take 1 more. That's Andrea gone, and a potential another kill on the player in Sandwich. Lunar Cats goes 1 for 1, but the health on Nocturne is low, and she's on 9 HP to try and clutch this out. It might just go the way of Silhouette, and it does. A massive turnaround for the CT side as they grab 2 AKs off of the back of a saved M4 and a couple pistols, not even armor behind all of them. That is a huge must-win round for Silhouette that they didn't even know they needed.
Yes, totally agree. There's a lot of individual amazing play here for Silhouette, ring around the Rosie in those smokes and avoiding Violent Roses and able to get these kills. I thought it was going to be another display of teamwork, but actually turned out to be quite the opposite with that round, and it's forcing Violent Roses to kind of slow down the pace. The first slow round into this match so far, round number 6, as they are going into a full-on default. Still no Operino in and from both teams. As you see, both teams are quite rough on the money. Only Naomi with 7k here. She's leading the pack, but everybody else is pretty poor coming into this round.
Indeed, but they still have a good amount of utility. Two Molotovs left with a minute to go on the clock. The double stack towards B. It was a very passive hold with 2 back towards empty pillar, but now we see a bit of a spread. I believe Giraffely's gone in towards back full, or towards, no, it is back full. But Lunar Cats will open things up onto the Lurker in Palace, but that's going to spur the T-side onto this execute. Zeta goes down first. Naomi, though, will get one. Zelsis with another. Naomi with 2 from empty pillar. And it's going to be the mop-up for Naomi, as she will get 3 kills on the round. Silhouette strike back for another. And there was no plant for Violet Roses, which means they're on pistols now. Silhouette should be able to grab 3.
What a display of Counter-Strike by Naomi, getting that triple crucial round for Silhouette. I did believe after, I think it was Atina that went on first, after that initial kill, I really thought it was going to be in Violet Rose's favor, but Naomi said, no, not in my bomb site. We're going to see a all-spot here as Luna Cards get caught off guard pretty much in the open. And Andrew giving away his life to NTS, only able to bring 1 player down with him. We're gonna need a 2 versus 4 retake as Naomi gets the first kill.
Naomi will not get anything else, though. Zelsis has to clutch this out. 1-2, the flicker round, but not the kill. Andrea, the quad kill, plus another massive clutch. This time in a 1v1 against Zelsis. And Andrea, 13-2 to start things off, but more importantly, it's the impact of these kills for her. This time, winning such an important round where they came in with pistols, and they take the round over Silhouette here. And Silhouette, they're hemorrhaging key rounds.
I thought that Zelsis, when he was in that 1v3, got the first 2. It was so scary for Andrea. She got spammed, but he ran out of bullets. I think if he had an extra bullet, she was going down. That would have been an insane clip from Zelsis. But on the other end, like you mentioned, Andrea with the solid quadruple. She's the MVP so far with only 7 rounds being played. Wow, and we are now in a 5v5 station. Zelsis with the first time an Operino in, and I keep saying Operino. I can't get away from it tonight.
I'm just trying not to say operator.
Yeah, I think I might be going for the operator, and I'm transforming it to Operino.
Valorant has ruined me.
Valorant is ruining all of us as Giraffely gets the first clean kill onto Android. Dry peeking connector. That could have been extremely dangerous. But Violet Rose is capitalizing on that as she gets another kill. Wow, these dry peek from Giraffely are paying off pretty well. And bomb's gonna get planted. Ah!
Nope.
Scratch that. Bomb is gonna be stopped. Plant got stopped by Luna Cards with that time.
Great stuff from Lunar Cats, but still the bomb plant not coming through. There's about 10 seconds on the clock, but it will finally come in. A flashbang for this retake to spark things up, but still Silhouette making their way in. Zelsis top a ticket, but goes 1-for-1 with Andrea, but Andrea still might be forced to clutch this out. She will take down another, and now it's Naomi in the 1v2. Giraffely over towards Jungle will get spammed down. That Molotov buying more time. A smoke onto the bomb for Naomi, has a kit as well. A nade in hand could take down Andrea, and here it comes. That should be the Kobe. There it goes, and Giraffely now as the clutch is out. Naomi is sticking, she's holding. Giraffely swaps to the sidearm, but the defuse comes in the nick of time. Naomi wins that 1v2 clutch. Perfection on the nade. And then the confidence to stick in that smoke. Silhouette, they steal away another round, and they keep Violet Roses to within 2 rounds. It's going to be another buy up for the T side. But the buy on Silhouette is actually worse than what Violet Roses have mustered.
And Andrea almost running away again with a spectacular round. At some point, I thought she was going to win it again for Violet Roses. But it's looking like we're going to go into a fast rush, be here for Violent Roses, but Andred and Tina getting the kills back to back, leaving Violent Roses, although they had less weapons, to fall one by one and not able to capitalize on that rush. Looked clean, simple, and effective for Silhouette. To be old here.
It's a necessary win for Silhouette, I believe, to boost their confidence. Their holds have been very shaky. Violent Roses have gotten the plants in a lot of these scenarios, and it's something that I think Silhouette needed to find a fixed for, and they finally do end up patching that hole in their defense. It's going to be Glocks out now. Andrea will go down first as Android and Zelsis open up things with 2 kills. Android's going to continue pushing on up towards top mid, and wisely falls away. Could have gotten blindsided by the player in the Cub. That's NTS, but maybe Android's still hungry for more frags. I don't think there's a necessity to hunt for Glocks and P250s without armor, but Giraffely has opened things up for Violent Roses and taken out Zelsis. She'll grab the M4 as well. And I believe Lunar Cats has just gone past 1, but Android, that makes himself get a 3K.
Clean kills as well as Lunar Cats is almost hunting. Oh, 4K here on Android. I was about to say almost hunting for that kill, but Android getting that quadruple. He's also looking good on the scoreboard. Lots of multi-kills happening left and right, and this is a tie game as we head into round number 11. Up in and for Zelsis, still nothing for Violent Roses, but it doesn't look like they have been needing it on the other maps that we've seen them play, as their T side has been pretty good in trades. But that pushman might be punished here. Violent Roses is waiting for it.
They are indeed. Nocturne might just back up Andrea too. NTS is trying to go aggressive out towards apartments, looking for an early peek. But Android, if he doesn't have a flash and goes for this dry, probably will end up getting traded out at the very least. There's one on top towards TV room and one below over towards Cub. It's going to be Andrea on the bottom angle with Nocturne up top. It's a very hard spray transfer for Android to hit, but he's just going to play it very passive. He does not want to lose his life early on for the cost of even a 1-for-1 trade. It's not worth it to him. Now he goes, I believe he might have heard a sound cue. So that's why he's pushing up, but there's still players here.
We did not hear it, but we can see what he's doing and perfectly timed, executed, but maybe will get traded if he's not careful and he kills himself into the molly. A little bit of a 1G, probably typed in chat. You heard that chat box open. As Zelsis here is trying to complete the kill on this 8 onside ult. Kai with the swing, getting the kill back to back. I'm very impressed with these dry peaks and headshot, leaving Andrea in a 1v2. This is something that's doable for her.
Indeed it is. She's clutched out a couple 1v1s already, and I don't think a 1v2 would be too far. Actually, I think it's right within her reach. She does have a smoke and 2 flashbangs as well, but she has to isolate these 1v1s.
10 seconds left, Bugs.
She needs to hurry. She needs to hop on a horse.
I don't
But there's no time. No, why are you peeking? Why are you peeking? Oh my. No. That could have. I mean, just losing all 5 is bad enough, but that could have ended in disaster right there for Silhouette.
That was so risky. Andrea had the win in her hands after having no chance of completing this round with the win in the bag for Violent Roses. Tina swings out right when Andrea switches to her knife, realizing that the timer is running out. And by some miracle, Myrna is able to dodge everything and stay alive. So Andrea ran out of time. What a round! Jesus, this is really crazy. These matches that we are seeing are crazy, and it's gonna force Violent Roses to take a timeout and try to recompose themselves here. I'm surprised that no one told Andrea there was 10 seconds left. I wonder if they even realized it.
They probably didn't. I think they were too focused on what was going on, just like I was. I didn't even realize it either. I saw the timer going down, but I didn't realize it was 10 seconds until you said something.
Yeah, it was pretty incredibly tight for both teams. And once again, I have to mention it. It was extremely scary. You heard me gasp a little bit while Boggs was holding our hands into this play-by-play. And we're going to see a half-buy here from Violent Roses. Andrea only she alone here with the AK in hand for her teams, fully TLTs as well. She got to kind of commit here after running out of time and keeping her weapon into last round. Could have seen a double save coming from Violent Roses, but we chose to go for that Deagle peak. And we saw a couple of rounds ago, they came out on top versus Silhouette in these rounds, so who knows?
Yeah, the deco can always be dangerous, especially with no real info peaks. Kai's eliminated Lunar Cat's underneath the balcony, and now Kai's going for more. It's going to be a trade out by Nocturne, who tries to follow up onto Android, but it's just not there. Giraffely has the information that there's a rotation coming through middle. Andrea pounces on it. Android gets shot from behind. It's all down to Naomi on Catwalk, but she's going to take these fights. Indeed she is, but she's going to lose it out to Giraffely, and we're back to a 6-6 score line. It is the deco. It was a very minimal investment. Only one player had armor with that. It was Kai. And Andrea just had that saved AK from the last round, but it works out for Violent Roses. The Deagle peaks keep on working. These drive peaks for Violent Roses keep on working.
Yeah, and it seemed like all's it's pretty weak here for Silhouette, because every time that we see a player from Violent Roses coming out of there, whether they have a Glock, a Deagle, or an AK and they're able to do some damage and do some work, and it's going to cause Silhouette here to be in a double save. That's why we see an investment here. It's not a double save, I mean, but you know what I mean. And my French is getting in the way of my casting, but you know what I mean, people in chat, as NTS is gonna get the first kill into Naomi and swing out, try to get the double, but she's gonna be punished by Athena here.
That's a huge frag in conjunction with Zelsis getting a kill out towards top middle. He's gonna rotate up, but Kai again, turret-like accuracy, flipping around from one angle to another and just tapping heads.
And we're gonna see a 3 versus 3 retake here for Silhouette. Still a lot of utilities in there, and so this retake is definitely possible. Only Lunar Cats on a Deagle. The rest of the players are fully equipped. The retake is happening right now. Lunar Cats, doesn't matter, she doesn't have a kill. She gets the Deagle and shot onto Kai. Nocturne tries to get the double, but unfortunately for Nocturne and Giraffely, Lunar Cats gets another kill with the Deagle, and Adrian is able to clean no kits in ends for Silhouette, but we're still gonna get the defuse right in time to bring Silhouette onto a 7-6 scoreline into this match.
Violent Rose is having more success with the pistols than the rifles, it seems.
On both sides,
yeah.
It's very interesting.
I guess it's just one of those games where the confidence of the pistols overwhelms the advantage that you have with the firepower.
Yeah, and I think it's extremely dominant, or something that happens a lot in the female scene especially. I do believe that sometimes a little bit of spacing issues is causing a lot of these gun rounds to kind of not be on point, but when it comes down to Deagles and swinging with pistols, we're the best at it.
Well, Andrea seems to be the best with the rifles, just swinging out again, another, this time a wallbang headshot, but another frag going her way. NTS spots ahead, but it's Android and Zelsis to stabilize things. Giraffely, though, flicks onto Android, and it's a 3v3 with Zelsis on 22 HP. It's still not a good spot for Silhouette, but Violent Roses, they're still stuck out towards middle, and Andrea might get caught on this fadeaway back towards back C. No, she doesn't make it away in just the nick of time. Aggression up towards Cat, that is Naomi, but she's going to be grouped up with Zelsis. Complete abandonment of middle for Silhouette. But Violent Roses are walking right into the trap. They do have Molotovs, they have a flashbang, but Zelsis and Naomi are going to try and be a bastion here on the B site.
Good gamble here from Silhouette. As you mentioned, that trap is being set up, and it's going to be a success here as Naomi and Zelsis clean up this round. Didn't even have to guess anything here. Take it away, Boggs! And no ice this Santa for the round.
That was a clutch Molotov from Naomi.
It was.
Played it perfectly. There was, what, about 30 seconds on the clock when that Molotov went through? And it forced Violent Roses through the flames, and Naomi aggressing out towards Get Right, too, putting herself in a different position, enabled her to get that first kill, and then she trusted in Zelsis to get those last 2 frags, and even then, she was in that spot to be able to trade at least one more and make it a 1v1 at the very worst case scenario for, I believe it was Lunar Cat's the last alive.
Last round into this final of week 2, and we are seeing Violent Roses fully commit here into a execute. No fake, no mid-control at all. Straight into a using our smokes and trying to get that bomb down, which was successful and nocturne with the deagle through the smoke, and then the flick with D off, leaving Naomi in a 1 versus 3. Naomi's gonna have to come in big, and she gets the kill through the box. What a round, directly closing it for Violent Roses. But wow, these shots left and right in that execute. Great display of Counter-Strike being displayed in the server.
Oh, indeed. These rounds are so back and forth, too. And it's kind of reminding me of that second half between Silhouette and Dignitas, where you're not really getting a lot of mid-rounds. You're just getting full-on picks everywhere on the map, and eventually it ends on a site where people are just taking these fights, and it's working out for both teams, although I think 7 rounds on the T side of Mirage is definitely something that Violent Roses will be happy with here, moving into this pistol.
And we are now live right away with this pistol onto Violent Roses and Silhouette's final, and Silhouette taking control of all of jungle here, and Zels is getting the first kill onto that smoke in connector. Hard rethink here as all remaining players of Violet Roses are peeking through spawn. And clean shot here onto NTS as Android is trying to get a cheeky pick, able to connect with 2, and gets NTS on their balcony, gets the double. It's gonna be a 1 versus 2. No kid in ends. We're gonna have to see another ace here if we want to see that win. Are we going to a full defuse? Oh my god.
Almost.
Did you believe in that moment?
I did, until I saw that there was going to be no possible time. It was about half a second too short. And the kit was just on the other side of the bomb, too. It was down in that smoke. If she picked up the kit, she had that defuse.
What a clean round, though, from NTS. Those shots were stellar across the board. But Android doing so much damage onto this pistol. A little bit of a sound issue, but don't worry, we'll be back. And we are back. That was really temporary as the bomb is getting planted. The free bomb side here as the stack onto Violent Rose's Swordsby was the wrong gamble to take.
That's why it's called a gamble. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
50,
and this
50.
time, yeah. I mean, it really, I guess sometimes it's a little less than 50-50 because some teams will send the feelers out and try to figure out where a stack might be. But for the most part, if you're going to go and face a rush, it's about a 50-50 chance. It's a coin flip. Unless you get a mid play, in which case it can go really easily back the other way.
My best friend always says, it's 50-50. You either win the round or you don't. So, you know. Oh, la 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 la. And Silhouette securing another round here in the lead, 10-7. So let's see if Violent Roses is able to stop that little bit of momentum that we have seen in the last couple of rounds, because they have a full-on buy here. Not a lot of utilities, but it's going to be the first time that they can display a little bit of teamwork onto their side.
Opening pick from Android, though, will not double down as Andrea will somehow stay alive there and take the kill onto Android through the top of that connector smoke. But still, it's a 4v4, and that does usually favor the T side, and Silhouette, once they've turned to the offense, have had no breaks on their pain train. It's the first real gun round for Violent Roses, though, and their first real chance to shut this down for Silhouette. But, oh, Naomi, that's a critical kill onto Kai. And now Andrea's fallen as well. NTS has to stand up huge from CT boxes, but Athena's right there for the trade. Giraffely on the long rotation. The worst part about being a B anchor is being stuck in situations like these, but Giraffely does have a chance. The bomb was not yet planted, but it will be now. The nade will probably not be able to finish off anybody unless it lands perfectly on Zelsis, but Zelsis is aggressing, throws his own flashbang. There's a counter flash as well from Tetris, but
now it's
still. Oh?
It's extremely winnable now as Giraffely in this 1v1. No smoke though, but she had hit Naomi. Winning that duel was so important. What a kick in the balls if she was able to win that 1v3. This is a little bit scary here for Silhouette, as Violent Roses really needed this round to secure a little bit of momentum, but also a little bit of money. We are poor. We are very poor for Violent Roses as we head into this full save round for most of players. And as I stated, I realized that Andrea also has the deagle. So we have 2 deagles here onto Violent Roses as we head into this A split, and it looks like it's going to be a very, very textbook round here for Silhouette.
Yep, the MAC-10s are just going to run around the map. There's just the one MAC-10 left on Zelsis, and there's only 1 deagle left for Violet Roses as well. It will get 1, but Andrea will not be able to get anything else. Android goes to the wide swing, and it is 12-7 now for Violent Roses. 5 rounds separating these 2 teams, and Violent Roses have come up empty on their CT side so far, and this is what I feared with Mirage coming through. That the explosive firepower of Silhouette would be overwhelming for Violent Roses. Because this is a pug team, essentially. It's a team that doesn't necessarily practice, and they have a couple stand-ins here, but that's a good start from Nocturne, picking Zelsis from the bunch. And, well, the B execute might come through.
First time we see an op too onto their C side. Crucial kill here by Nocturne.
This B stack, this B hold rather, it does have a couple Molotovs, but there's no real information plays to be able to use those properly. A flashbang might force Giraffe into a peek, but maybe did she hear something back in the kitchen? No, that's going to be the spot. There goes the Molotov, but it's going to miss. Unless that was for... No, that doesn't even go under window. Android's far out. Giraffe's getting caught in jail, but no, she falls. Nocturne's able to get 1 more, and Kai is swinging for something. Will actually stop the planner, and Kai, the transfer up top, as Android chimes in, or rather Nocturne chimes in onto Android. Violent Roses come in with a flurry of frags to win their first round of the CT side.
What a transfer, as you mentioned, from Kai. Little bit of a whiff is here onto that Violent Roses be old, but the rotation was stellar, and Nocturne was able to get there in time. As we see another beautiful display of Counter-Strike, Nocturne making the jump here onto Violent Roses and getting the kill. Unfortunately, we switched, but oh my god, jumping to lower, getting a kill onto Zelsis, punishing the lack of mid-control here on Silhouette with a great display of Counter-Strike.
Yes, indeed, but still Silhouette have a chance to battle back and grab this round and go up to 13. 13 can always be a death number for a CT side because it puts your economy in such a rough spot that if you lose another round en route to that comeback that you're trying to accomplish, it pretty much puts you on a save round before you have to face that match point. So for Violent Roses right now, they really need to win a few more rounds before Silhouette even able to grab 13. But the bomb's down on B, and it's Nocturne and Kai with a minimal amount of utility, and they're just going to call it. They kind of have to here.
I'm not quite sure how we lost the second member of Violent Roses, but the third one was Giraffe, and we were unfortunately in her eyes, and our gamble here didn't pay off. She was in a rough position. She could have get crushed from upper B and or mid, and she chose to kind of go back towards mid. It was the worst timing possible because when she came back, 2 Silhouette players were actually looking at her. So I wonder if they saw like little bit of edge of like an elbow or something, and they were like, oh, one's cat, let's just hold and hope that, you know, we get the kill, and then that's what happened, and then the rest is history.
The rest is history indeed, and for Violent Roses, they might just be history here if they're not able to convert this next round. They're going to go for another buy. They have the op save, they can shuffle some guns around and get rifles in the hands of everybody. They have a lot of utility as well, but this big problem here is it's full aggression again from Silhouette, but Nocturne plucks the head off of Android's shoulders. A great opening. Going out aggressive, though, burning down Not too much, but still a little bit of damage. Lucky to escape with a life, but Andrea has also found Zelsis in the meantime, so that will mean it's a 5v3 in favor of the Violent Roses, who are trying their hardest to not allow Silhouette to 14, let alone a 15th round. Violent Roses are saying they are not done with this just yet. They had a 6-round comeback in their last matchup, and, well, we might be seeing a 7 to 8 round comeback if they can string it together. But then again, Silhouette, they still have a lot of bite left on these 3 players. And all mid-control, but no real picks just yet.
Yeah, and I like the impact that Nocturne is having in these early rounds. If we want Violet Roses to win, we need Nocturne to come in big, because the first entry frag with that up is crucial, and we're not quite sure how their life was giving away towards mid, but I feel like I'm jinxing the whole server every time I give props to someone. They unfortunately die, but Girafle here in a good position to get that kill. Oh, we got a little bit of a replay delay here with our second observer. It's a little late, and we're going to be able to get the bomb down here on Silhouette.
Yeah, shout out to our production team. Our observers doing a great job bringing us all the action here, catching all the action. Caught a few great aces as well.
Yes.
So shout out to our observers. Observers don't get enough
today.
love.
3 aces today, as Andrea is going to fall into Naomi's hand. It's going to be a 2v2 retake here. But they know where Naomi is. Are they going to be able to get the kill on her? Naomi playing this so perfectly. She's now stuck in a 1 versus 2. Able to get that first kill at NTS.
No time.
No time, no kit. Picks up the kit, no time.
That's heartbreaking.
Silhouette
That is
with the win.
That's utterly heartbreaking.
14-8. Naomi did everything she could to win that round, and she came out on top. She didn't kill everyone, but it doesn't matter. She got the W. And Violent Roses have enough money to buy, but they're going to face a full-on rush from Silhouette towards A.
There's no Molotov to stop it either. Zeltis charging in. Android will actually fall to Andrea first. NTS from under scaffolding. Almost a second kill. It's Nocturne to help out, and it's a mop up here, but it's going back both ways. Lunar Cat's 2 HP has made this possible if the health was a little bit higher. But there's a nade on Giraffe, but that nade might just land. No, it goes way too deep.
What?
It did damage?
How are these nades not finishing her? She lost 1 HP out of that last grenade. She's at 1 onto Tetris.
Nades in this game never cease to amaze me with how just inconsistent they are.
Same. You throw a nade above a wall and you'll do more damage than what just happened to Lunar Cat here. But thankfully for Violent Roses and for us, because it's going to lead to a closer final, Silhouette will be losing this round. I think they were trying to catch Violent Roses out guard, but Violent Roses' smoke into A ramp was actually, I don't know if it was missed or kind of broken, but it ended up helping them, because Silhouette was not able to get the early picks onto Violent Roses onto A during that rush.
Here it comes again. It's an Apps play this time. Android with 1. Andrea trades, but Athena's pushing up, but it's still going to be Andrea. Nocturne. 2 kills amongst the 2. And now is Naomi with a headshot on the Deagle spray, looking for 3 more to win this clutch at the very least. She like a bomb plant, but she has an AK now and armor, a smoke, and a flashbang too. That nade does not do any damage, but it does push a kit towards her. This nice spread out of Giraffe. The Molotov will force her into the open, however. And Nocturne is there for the hat trick. The brace for Andrea and almost a 30 bomb for Andrea as well. She's at 27 kills right now. But Violent Roses, they keep on plodding back, it seems. This is a team that doesn't know how to lose. They never say die.
Yeah, this is a replay of what happened in the semis. Violent Roses was losing 14-10 versus Able, and this is exactly what's happening versus Silhouette. So let's see if they're able to do that comeback back-to-back into this game. As we look at the money for Silhouette, it's not looking great. Deagles, SMGs, very little util, but Andrea is able to get that pick onto all successfully onto Andrea, and Nocturne falls down again. Both players that are doing great work here from Violent are just been deleted off this map. It's all in the hands of potentially Kai getting the double, evening out the numbers. but Giraffe is gonna have to win it 1v3. She almost did it earlier. Can she do it for real this time?
She has more utility to work with too, but that's a good, well-placed smoke from Silhouette. Athena is low, but Android and Naomi have full HP or nigh full HP. Giraffe misses the jump. They might have just heard her as well. Her Molotov will go into Firebox, but it's not going to do anything. Android on top of the triple stack will shut down the clutch attempt from Giraffe. And that's also going to shut down the money of Violent Rose's step. There is no money to get a full buy here. They're not going to have a lot of utility unless they go for SMGs. And NTS is going to be relegated to a Deagle.
A Deagle for NTS last round. Well, it's not last round. It's match point. So let me correct myself here for Silhouette. And we're going to see another fast-paced round because it looks like it's what both teams really enjoy to do. And we're already crushing B here as Celsius made his way all the way back to backside at B. And he's able to get the triple kill as if he was cutting a knife.
A hot knife into butter at that, and he's on for the ace now. We could see another ace to close it out, but no Nocturne. Will catch Zelsis getting a little too greedy with the Glock out.
Little bit too much.
Yeah, just a little bit. I don't think Nocturne's going to be able to do much here, though. All four players are zoning in on this position. Nocturne making all the noise in the world. Goes into a firing squad of 3 players, and that is all she wrote for Violent Roses. They will get back-to-back second places. But yes. Silhouette are your champions of Week 2, the Supergirl Gamer Pro Counter-Strike event.
Silhouette winning Week 2, and I'm trying to think where they got knocked out last week by Dignitas. Was it in semis as well?
It was indeed. So now we have a 3-way tie.
3-way tie. Wow, you made your maths real quick. You're my backup because I have no idea, but congratulations to Silhouette as well as Violent Roses for making it to the finals, but Silhouette coming out on top and gaining that 100 point. But before we let you go for the night, we need to recap a little bit about what happened. And I'm gonna ask production to show the brackets because I don't even know if it's going to be possible, but yes, you're so ready. Let's go. So this was the bracket for tonight. Silhouette coming out on top, beating Dig after losing to them last week in Violet Roses back-to-back finals. And this is going to be it for Week 2 of this Supergirl Gamer Pro event. But if you are not aware of the format, let's just recap it a little bit. Bugs, what is the format for this event?
So we have 9 weeks where we have these little mini best-of-1 tournaments where we have 8 teams or so. I believe we could expand that if need be to. But we have 8 teams all vying for a spot in that finals, and each team will accumulate points based off of their placing. If you finish 5th through 8th, you get 25. Semifinals will get you 50. Second place with 75, and winning the week will grant you 100 points. But the top 4 after the 9 weeks will end up on land at the Supergirl Surf Pro in San Diego in October. And that's not an event you want to miss.
You are so much better at me than this. You're always going to recap this. You did not hesitate throughout your dribbling. This is so great. And we are currently just at the end of Week 2. There's 9 weeks, 3 games. So we will be back next week for another event. So if you are feeling the water, testing the water, not sure if you want to join us, we'll give it a shot because every time you join these kind of events, you gain a little bit of experience. And this is what they're for. They're incubators for you to get experience into competition. And we see a lot more. We see new names every week, and it's been a great event so far. Tomorrow, we will be live with some League of Legends, and Sunday, some Hearthstone. I want to say thank you to our partners, Bugs. So thank you to Nissan, U.S. Air Force, Zenny, U.S. Marines, as well as GameStop for making this event happen and allowing us to have the top 4 make it to the final of the Supergirl Gamer Pro. Final words?
Well, I had a blast tonight watching some great up-and-comers in the female scene. It's always good to see the new players, and to have this opportunity for the North American female scene to grow is something that we've needed for a long time. And it's great to finally see this Thank you to Supergirl Gamer Pro for having me out today. And, well, thank you to you for being such a great host tonight. And thanks to everyone who watched.
I had so much fun casting with you. I'm learning every time I do these. So I will unfortunately not be there next week because I will be competing as well in the DreamHack Showdown. So we will see a brand new crew for next week's CSGO event. But tomorrow we are going to be back with the Supergirl Gamer Pro with some League of Legends at the same bat time and same bat channel on Twitch. This was Bug and Miss RV, and we'll see you next time.